Auburn coach Mark Auburn brings 12-0 Bulldogs into the championship game for the first time in school history, led by senior Luke Lundy. The Badgers of Valentine are also 12-0, and first-year head coach Jason Mitchell will count on his key linebacker, James Belleville. It's a battle of the undefeated. The Class C1 state title game is next. NET Sports, Nebraska's home for sports, is live from Memorial Stadium in Lincoln, Nebraska for the 2006 Nebraska State High School Football Championships. And this morning in the Class C1 state title game, it's the Auburn Bulldogs taking on the Valentine Badgers. And good morning, everyone. Great to have you with us here at Memorial Stadium, along with Adrian Fiala. I'm Larry Putney. We have a good one for you. Two undefeated teams. Neither of these teams have ever won a state title. And Adrian, when we talk about Valentine, it's a multiple offense.
You bet, Larry. The Badgers, not only a multiple offense, but actually very well balanced both offensively and defensively. Mason Ormacher is their running back, and he's led this team in rushing for 3 years, 1,000 yards each year, 1,000 plus. He gets great yardage after contact, and that's a very important number. On defense, well, that's what Valentine is really known for. They're led by James Belleville. He's a linebacker, great hitter, averaging close to 15 tackles a game, and anybody you talk to say this guy's a once-in-a-lifetime player. So great to see that. In the playoffs, this defense has limited opponents to 7 points a game, Larry. So You got to hang your hat on that defense.
Absolutely. Joining Adrian and I in the booth this morning, former Husker Chad Severs. Now, let's turn our attention to Auburn, and this is about some offensive stars.
Oh, definitely, and it all starts with Luke Lundy, their 6'2", 220-pound thoroughbred of a running back. I tell you what, having played at the C1 level, Larry, you do not see guys of this size and speed at this level. He's rushed for over 2,300 yards and 27 touchdowns on the year. He's complemented really nicely by Troy Williams, their 6'3", 190-pound wide receiver, who's averaging over 25 yards a catch and 12 touchdowns on the year. So look for that to be a nice 1-2 combination going into today's game.
Well, both of these teams, when the season began, made a goal. They wanted to be here at the state title, and they took some measures to get here. But with more on that is John Bishop. John.
Well, Larry, Broderick Thomas called this place our house. Others have referred to it as the old gray lady at 10th and Vine or Grandma. But head coach Mark Oliver, who just so happens to be Auburn's geography teacher, also refers to this place as 4096. Those are the latitude and longitude coordinates for Lincoln, Nebraska. So the goal today is for 4095 to come to 4096 and to take the trophy from 43-100. Does that make any sense?
That makes perfect sense, John. Thanks very much. I prefer the name 4096 to old Grandma, frankly. Well, we have a good one for you here this afternoon. Valentine and Auburn, both undefeated, both coming in ranked in the top 5 in the state, and both began the year expecting to be here. And I think those expectations are what drove both of those teams to get here.
You bet, Larry. And that's kind of the neat thing about setting the goal and achieving the goal. You have those expectations, and you get there. You work hard, you pay the price, and you get there. And it's a little bit more satisfying when you start out that way. So hopefully we have a good game, and one of these teams is going to go home a winner.
Well, this is one of the fun moments for all the players who take the field at Memorial Stadium, getting and being introduced at Memorial Stadium. Let's go to PA announcer Rich Broderson.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Memorial Stadium and the 2006 Nebraska School Activity Association State Football Championships for today's Class C1 championship game between the Auburn Bulldogs and the Valentine Badgers. And now, ladies and gentlemen, for the introduction of the players and the coaches. First, for the Auburn Bulldogs. Number 1, Troy Williams. Number 2, Tommy Parrish. Number 8, Dana Millage. Number 9, Ryan Mertis. Number 14, Nathan Teaton. Number 26, Joshua Jones. Number 30, Jason Teaton. Number 33, Trent Jones. Number 38, Kyle McLaughlin. Number 40, Luke Lundy. Number 44, Justin Lane. Number 54, Ryan Kahunza. Number 57, Josie Whistler. Number 65, Travis Cole. Number 66, Quentin Keeler. Number 71, Joel Wilson. Number 72, Zach Palmerton. Number 73, Josh Garver. Number 75, Caleb Carnahan. Number 80, Ryan Allgood. Number 82, Joshua Rezab. And number 96, Drew Tanner. The head coach for Auburn, Mark Oliver. And now the rest of the Auburn high school players and coaches.
Auburn comes in 12-0, and as you heard John Bishop explain at the top, they expected to be here. That's what 4096 was all about. The end goal was to be at Memorial Stadium, and when you set that goal and you talk about early and you let everybody know and everybody's on board, it can have a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Indeed, Larry, and again, when you fulfill that, it's just a great feeling. But they've got one more to go, and up to them. Chadley, and I know you played on a couple of excellent football teams, and when you set that goal and achieve that goal, it's a good feeling, isn't it?
No, definitely. It's a feeling that no one can understand until they've been between those white lines and experienced that. When you're the last team standing at the end of the game victorious, I tell you what, it's a pretty special feeling that not many people get the chance to experience.
And with Auburn, 13 seniors on this football team, and they were most responsible for that goal.
And now to bring on the Badgers, here's the PA announcer, Rich Broderson.
And now for the introduction of the players and the coaches for the Valentine Badgers. Number 7, Kevin Peterson. Number 14, Greg Coleman. Number 15, Tyler Osnes. Number 30, Taylor McCormick. Number 33, Mason Ormisher. Number 34, Luke Arnold. Number 52, James Belville. Number 53, Matt Spain. Number 57, Tyler Henson. Number 59, Toby Furno. Number 64, Troy Nelson. Number 72, Jace Lemon. Number 80, Ryan Gatz. And number 88, Jeremy Hand. And the head coach for Valentine, Jason Mitchell. And now the rest of the Valentine High School players and coaches.
And so the Badgers take the field. They are ranked number 3 in the state, also unbeaten, and also have never won a state championship. Exciting for both of these towns in that somebody will win their first ever state championship today.
Valentine, the furthest they've ever been in the playoffs. In 2003, they made it to the quarterfinals, the furthest they have achieved so far. So looking for that big win here today. Jason Mitchell, their head coach. And I tell you what, we've had some really good football games the last couple of days, guys. I'm looking forward to this one, Chad.
I tell you what, and you're speaking of Jason Mitchell, Valentine's first-year head coach. What an exciting guy, getting to talk to him before the game. He's really got this whole town excited. He said 2/3 of the town's going to be down here to watch his team hopefully bring home their first state title.
Well, I think John Bishop gave us the geography lesson off the top, but here's another one. Valentine in the north central part of the state, Auburn in the southeastern part. So not close. They certainly have not seen each other. In fact, if you go through these schedules, they really have no common opponents. This is how they got to this state championship game. Valentine with 2 very close games, winning their last 3 all by 7 points. They beat Boone Central by 7 and Hastings St. Cecilia by 7. A little easier road for Auburn, although that game with Norfolk Catholic, I think, opened a lot of people's eyes in that Norfolk Catholic, a perennial power in Class C1, defending state championship, and Auburn handled them pretty easily. 34-13. So we're about ready to get underway here at Memorial Stadium. There you see the fans who come in from Auburn. Auburn, of course, the home of a couple former Huskers. The Kelsey brothers were from Auburn. And it's surprising that throughout the Kelsey history that they weren't able to make it here to Memorial Stadium for the state championship game. Let's take a look at the conditions for today, and boy, it's going to be a nice one. Right now it's 33 degrees, feels like about 26, but the projected high today is 50, and we just have a slight breeze out of the north at about 8 miles an hour, and blue skies, and the sun is shining, so a terrific morning for football on this Saturday, November 18th. Here are your officials, the officiating crew, all Lincoln: Mark Weeding, Steve Nelson, Justin Pavich, Lauren Swigard, Michael Onutka, and Rick Stomer. Stomer is the timeout official. And so they will bring the players back in, and we will get ready for the flip here momentarily.
Can't forget old Rick, Larry.
That's right. Well, this should be a good one in that we're going to see a couple of teams who know how to play great defense. And we talked about this earlier. For this being a C1 game, there is a tremendous amount of talent on this field today.
Yeah, it really is. I think it's capable talent that could go against any B team or A team, quite frankly. And you look at the defense, and as Chad and I were talking earlier, I always look at every game I do from a standpoint of defense. And Valentine has a defense that's giving up just 75 yards rushing on the year, 88 yards passing, a total of 164 yards. And that's if you hold a team to under 200 yards on defense, that's excellent. And this team is doing better than that. So here's the coin toss down on the field.
Okay, guys, first of all, congratulations on making it to the championship game. And Mark Green will be the referee, Mr. Nelson, Mr. Anutka, Mr. Pavich, Mr. Swigard, your other officials, all right? Got a silver dollar, the eagle is tails, liberty is heads. Who's going to call it here? Okay, call it. What'd you hear him call? Heads is what I heard as well. Let it fall on the ground. All right, so it is a tail. Valentine's won. We're going to defer. I'm going to signal this up here. Okay, what do you guys do? We're going to see the ball. Which goal do you want to defend? All right, you want to move your backs that way?
So it's that high-powered Auburn offense that'll get the ball first. And when we come back, Valentine and Auburn in the Class C1 state championship game at Memorial Stadium.
Some people tell me it's just a game, but it's more than that, at least to me. It's years of playing catch with my dad and friends in the backyard. It's a drawer full of jerseys, and a lifetime of loving the game.
The Nebraska Public Power District congratulates every player and coach who plays the game safely, with spirit, integrity, and pride. Nebraska Public Power District, always there when you need us. Together with your local public power utility.
Programming on NET television is provided in part by Education Quest Foundation. For over 20 years, Education Quest has provided free college planning resources to help students search colleges, search for scholarships, complete financial aid applications, and learn more about student loans. Education Quest is located in Kearney, Lincoln, and Omaha. Appointments available at 800-666-3721. Do you feel you have more questions than answers about your child's college education? Let us help. Countdown to College will have the experts to answer your concerns about the next step to higher learning. Find out how you can make college affordable. Watch Countdown to College.
Coming in December to NET1.
Next time on Nature. Yellowstone in winter. A breathtaking world in white. Enter a winter wilderness and experience the magic that is Christmas in Yellowstone.
Sunday night at 7 Central Time on NET1.
Well, the 2006 Nebraska State High School Football Championships are being carried live over the internet. So if you have friends or family who don't have access to NET, have them log on to netnebraska.org. Click sports, just follow the prompts to state high school football. NET is Nebraska's home for sports. A great opportunity for people all around the state and the country and even the world to tune in and watch the Nebraska State High School Football Championships. We are about ready to get underway in the Class C1 State Championship, and kicking it off for the Valentine Badgers. They won and deferred, so they will kick to Auburn is Adam Dredge, and Dredge squibs one right along the ground. The ball is loose, but on top of it late is Auburn. And you never know what happens at the bottom of the pile, though, so we'll stay with it and see what happens and who comes up with it. And Auburn does have the ball, so Auburn will have it to work with from the 40-yard line. Here's a look at the offense, the backs and receivers. First for Auburn, Troy Williams is one of your receivers. Drew Tanner, another tight end, and McLaughlin at the other receiver.
Well, trying to catch Auburn a little bit asleep with a switch. Did Valentine with that little squib kick. Didn't happen, and we're ready for live action again.
I tell you what, though, Adrian, I like the call by first-year head coach Jason Mitchell, trying to be the aggressor here and give his team some confidence. Hopefully have a sudden change and get the ball back right away.
So Dana Melledge under center for Auburn. He's thrown for 1,200 yards this year. His eye back Luke Lundy, and the give to Lundy, and he stopped right at the line of scrimmage by this tough Valentine defense.
Expect to see that quite a bit today. James Belleville, the linebacker, is going to be the ringleader out there. Belleville is just a monster as far as tackles go, and he'll be all over the field along with all the rest of their bunch.
So the loss of one on the play by Lundy. That'll bring up 2nd down 11. Luke Lundy has rushed for more than 2,300 yards on the season. Dropping back to pass is Melledge. Melledge looks downfield, and it's overthrown and out of the outstretched hands of both the defender and the receiver. McCormick there in coverage.
Try to get that ball down there to Troy Williams. This youngster is a tremendous football player, and I know, Chad, you did a little work on tell us about Troy.
I tell you what, he's a Katrina refugee, and as I mentioned in the pregame, he's averaging 25 yards a catch. He only has 20 receptions on the year, but 12 of those have gone for touchdowns. So he's definitely an impressive player, and as you noticed there, Valentine was definitely respecting him. They were off the ball about 8 yards on him.
And Williams has had a great playoff run. In fact, 2 touchdowns in that big win over Norfolk Catholic. And he is a danger to stretch the field. On 3rd and 11, it looks like they may go up top with the give inside to Lundy. Lundy stacked up at about the 42. That'll bring up a 4th down for Auburn.
Tell you what, this is going to be an exciting matchup all day to see James Belleville and Lundy hitting the hole. Both these guys are impressive athletes, and they both like to knock the pads a little bit.
Belleville is 6 foot tall, weighs 200 pounds, goes great from sideline to sideline. He's number 52. You can't miss him, and you probably will hear him a lot too.
And Lundy now back to punt. Lundy not only runs and plays defense, but kicks and carries the water jugs on the sideline. That one just out of bounds at the 33. So the Valentine Badgers will have their first opportunity from their own 33-yard line. So here we are in the first quarter. 10:39 left in quarter number 1. And Valentine will take over 1st and 10 from their own 33. And out to lead the way for the Valentine Badgers is Greg Coleman, the quarterback. Coleman has completed 1,500 yards passing this season for 19 touchdowns. You will see him make a lot of checks at the line. 3 wide set, the give in the backfield. And pulled down from behind and back there to make the play for Auburn.
Jason Teaton.
Is Teaton.
Teaton's going to step around everybody right here. See him come right through there, untouched, not accounted for by the offensive line in the blocking scheme, and he just steps up and makes the hit. He had 125 tackles on the year coming in, averaging right over 10 per game.
So no gain on the carry by Omisher.
Omisher's a young man, number 33. Senior at 5'8", 170 pounds, and just 1,700 plus yards on the year.
And back to pass is Coleman. He looks onto the flat and he's out of bounds. No, it'll be incomplete. Caught it out of bounds.
You know, guys, I think this game has a little anxiety in terms of the players down there. They're really hopping to it. You're seeing the balls overthrown and that play there. Watch the action here as the ball gets out there and the receiver's going to catch it, get a jump, catch it out of bounds, and then come back in. He's excited.
That was Taylor McCormick on the attempted reception. So that'll bring up third down now for the Badgers. One back in the backfield. Back to pass again. That's over the middle. He finds McCormick this time. McCormick with some room to run, and he's out near midfield. Nice catch by Taylor McCormick. The completion from Greg Coleman, good enough for a first down.
Went right to that screen pass, Chad.
Yeah, definitely. And as you look at it, Valentine's led by McCormick in receiving. You know, a lot of people talk about Gass and Peterson, they're two tall receivers, but McCormick is definitely their leading receiver with almost 600 yards in the season.
Watch the move right there. Dana Milage had a shot at him right there. If he can make that tackle, maybe stop that first down as we're back to the action here.
And the give to Omisher, and Omisher finds a little room. Gain of about 7.
Tell you what, that Ormesher, he runs hard for a little guy.
He really does. He had 146 yards against Hastings St. Cecilia in the semifinal game and 173 yards against Fillmore Central. He's tough, he's low to the ground, and very, very hard to bring down.
Valentine moving quickly up to the line. The only back is Omisher. He'll get it again. Omisher has the first down and more as he churns the legs and gets inside the 40 down near the 35-yard line. And Valentine moving the ball here in this first quarter.
Larry, you remember we talked about yak yards? 4 yards. He made the hit. Watch the hit here. Excellent work on the left side of that, or right side of that line for Valentine, and then he makes 4 yards, Chad, after contact.
Yeah, definitely. And if you keep getting 4 or 5 yards of pop on that nice little power there, you're going to see them keep coming back to that well till it dries up.
First down machine.
1st and 10 from the 36. The pitch, Omisher, he has room. He'll find that crease again, and another gain of 4. They just keep grinding it out here. A gain of 4 and 5 on first down.
Great job by Dana Milage that time to work off a block and make the tackle.
And there's the head coach, Jason Mitchell, in his first year at Valentine. Coached for a couple of years at Minutair, and now in his first year, played his college ball at Doane. In fact, his playing days aren't over. In the offseason, he still plays for the Omaha Beef in Omaha. He's still an active guy. And the give inside Omisher, but he'll be brought down and pulled down by Caleb Carnahan. Carnahan in the middle shuts it down.
Carnahan and about 4 others. 5 white shirts on Omisher this time. Watch them all just meet at Omisher right here. Good job to work off all the blocks. And look at all the white helmets on poor old number 33.
I'll tell you what, you're right, Adrian. And talking to Mark Oliver before the game, he said that's the key to their defense. They really fly around and swarm to the football.
3rd and 7, Omisher again. This time grinds down inside the 25, and that's enough for another first down. The counter give on 3rd and long, and Omisher picks up the first down.
Well, Valentine has been known for all of their looks on offense, but so far, guys, it's been pretty much power football right straight up the middle, moving the football now. They started back at their own 33, and now they're inside the 25. Call it the 24-yard line, Larry, and just power football all the way.
Omisher already with 6 carries for over 30 yards. 3 straight years he's gained 1,000 yards. Now on the option. And that's going nowhere. Great defensive play by that Auburn Bulldog defense. Jason Teaton from his linebacker spot makes the tackle.
I tell you what, Larry, he's already been on a couple big plays. This Teaton likes to fly around and hit people.
Stop blocking him up there. He just came through untouched one more time. A little nick up in the front line there. Auburn is really stacking up that offensive line, so if they can get by that first wave, as we talk about a lot, you get by that first wave, you got room to go.
And a false start.
So a false start will back Valentine up 5 yards after they picked up a 1st and 10.
First miscue for Valentine on the day.
I think Adrian's right. As you look at this game, I think both these teams are just a little bit antsy right now. And who can blame them? You know, coming from a C1 football program and playing in front of about 30,000 fans here today at Memorial Stadium. That's a little bit of a jump.
It is. It's anxiety, and plus neither one has been here before. These guys, even though they're pretty seasoned players for the most part, Chad. It's a fun time, but an anxious time, and everybody wants to play well and bring that trophy home for the first time.
So 2nd down 19. Coleman brings him up over the ball. Ormisher in the backfield. Coleman drops back to throw. He's pressured, and he'll be sacked in the backfield. Once again, the linebacker, Justin Lane, with the sack.
2nd sack on the year for Justin Lane, senior. Watch him just a fire from the outside. Chad, you like to do that, didn't you?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Fun time.
I could never complain about blitzing off the edge. That's the fun part of the game, coming and hitting that quarterback in the mouth.
And boy, he took care of him right now. He's going straight down, creates a long 3rd down play.
These are very active linebackers for the Bulldogs. 3 of them with 130 plus tackles on the year.
Look for Ryan Gass here, guys. He's their big time receiver on 3rd down.
3rd and forever.
Timeout.
And we have a timeout by Valentine. Head coach Jason Mitchell wants to talk it over. He'll come out into the huddle to meet with the guys. But that'll bring up 3rd and 24. So drop for a loss on the carry, and then the penalty, and then a sack, and that puts Valentine in a hole. You can get all the inside information on the Huskers after the Colorado game on Big Red Wrap-Up. Tuesday, November 28th, live at 7. Our guest will be Lee Barthneck from the Omaha World-Herald. It's a complete review of the game with highlights, commentary, discussion, and the latest recruiting news with Husker Illustrated's Sean Callahan. You can join Adrian Fiala and Kevin Kugler for the next Big Red Wrap-Up. That's Tuesday, November 28th, right here on NET, Nebraska's home for sports. Chad, you made an appearance on the last show. Very nice job, by the way.
Yeah, thanks a lot. I was actually in the booth with, or up here in the booth last night with Damon Benning, who was also on the show with me. I tell you what, that guy knows his football.
That's why we have you on. We assume you know.
Like I said, Damon knows his football.
Going deep is Coleman. Coleman's got a receiver out there and just pushed out of bounds. Incomplete. Tried to find on the sprint Ryan Gass, and that's exactly who Chad said he'd be going to.
Like I said, you know, he's got 7 touchdowns on the year. He's their big play threat, especially since Kevin Peterson, their other 6'4" receiver, has been down with an injury.
Good job by Coleman there. The ball was snapped down low, the shoe tops, and he had to go down and get it. Gass, 2nd time out of bounds here, but well done in terms of recovering for the play and making the play. And Gass, as you said, Chad, 17 receptions, 7 TDs.
Yeah, that's impressive. You know, he's averaging almost 17 yards a catch, and as you said, 17 touchdowns, especially for an offense that doesn't throw the ball a whole lot. He's made some big-time plays this year.
And on the punt, there was a kneel when he fielded the punt, so down at the 48-yard line at Auburn will have great field position.
Valentine moving the football up between the tackles, and then things kind of slowed down and stopped.
Well, last year, top-ranked Norfolk Catholic returned to the championship game to face Chase County. Let's flash back to the 2005 final in Class C1. Today, in the Class C1 title game, it's the Norfolk Catholic Knights taking on the Chase County Longhorns. The Knights will go for it, and it's a keeper by Pieper, and he spins at the 5, and he's in there for the touchdown.
2nd and 10.
The give right up the middle. And a touchdown. Now Schultz back to pass again. This time out of the flat. Out there is Munger. Munger has room down the sideline and out of bounds at the 1. Now the give right up the middle to Munger for the touchdown. The Knights are Class C1 state champions. And of course, it was the Auburn Bulldogs knocking off Norfolk Catholic in the semifinals to get here. So not an easy run. If you take a look at the schedule for Auburn, they've knocked off Bishop Neumann and Norfolk Catholic to get to the state championship game.
Yeah, Larry, that Neumann game in particular, a big milestone for Auburn. They had lost to them 3 times in the playoffs previously and finally got the job done against Tim Turman. It is a very, very fine program. So good field position again. Auburn started their first drive at the 40, and now this drive starts at the 48.
So Auburn now with the ball. Melledge under center. He will give to Lundy, and Lundy with a gain of about 2 out to midfield.
Let's take a look at the punt here again. Here's a snap. And the knee does definitely go down, and the referee right there. Mark waiting to make that call. Good call.
You can definitely see here in the early going, Mark Oliver's definitely trying to get his thoroughbred Luke Lundy going here. And I tell you what, this Valentine's defense living up to its billing. They're pretty stingy against the run, Adrian.
Second down 8. Coleman gives on the counter. And a nice tackle out there in the open field. Once again, Teton pulls him down.
This Teton kid's a player. I tell you what, he's got great instincts. He likes flying around to the football. He did a good job there of keeping with his responsibility and not trusting the first read.
You saw Belleville up there at the top of the screen, just trying to. He was coming in from his middle backer spot and just missed that tackle. Got kind of picked off a little bit, not intentionally, just a little bit of an accidental block. Couldn't quite get there.
So third down 5. Big pass from Coleman out in the flat.
Watch out.
Williams with the catch. Enough for the first down inside the 40-yard line. Trying to break that last tackle. He had some room out there.
Well, good job by Gass that time to make that tackle. Chad, talk about open field tackling, how difficult it is. We'll see it again here.
Yeah, we talked about this the other night on the show. I tell you what, Adrian, it really all comes down to instincts. You can work on open field tackling and practice and work on all kinds of different technique issues. But I tell you what, when you got that 4 or 5 guy running at you, you just got to make the play.
So first and 10 at the 40-yard line. For the Bulldogs, dropping back again is Melledge. Out in the flat, that's Williams, who bobbles it once but hauls it in, and that's going to be back to about the original line of scrimmage, if not a loss of a half yard.
Trying to get that quick pop pass over there out in the flat over to Williams. This youngster can fly. 200-meter qualifier, and he can get it down the field, but boy, great pursuit. That's one thing about Valentine you're going to see all day, is their defense really gets to the football very, very quickly.
As we get down here closer to the goal line, watch for a hitch and go with Williams. They're setting it up. I think they're setting up. They've run 2 or 3 swing passes to him. I look for him to run a hitch and go here.
Loss of 1, 2nd and 11. The pitch, quick pitch out. And that's on the corner, McLaughlin. McLaughlin breaks the tackle, and he is in for the touchdown.
Can't beat speed. That's what that was. Tyler Osnes had a shot at him. He's the guy that missed a tackle over there on the far side, but man, speed hurts. And this situation here not only hurt, but put points up.
Kyle McLaughlin got the edge and put it in for 6.
I tell you what, as you guys said, you can't teach speed, and it's impressive to me to see 2 C1 teams with the amount of athletes and speed on this field today.
Extra point is blocked. So Valentine with the block, and that'll make it 6-0 Auburn.
So a combination of penalty and field position really help out here. Watch McLaughlin here. You toss that ball out there quickly, you get it to the edge very quickly, and that's a terrific block out there by Travis Cole to spring it. Now watch this. Well, you got to get the head on the other side, and just you can use the sideline so well, Chad. If you get that head on the other side, it's pretty easy to get rid of the guy out of bounds.
Exactly, Adrian. You got to use that sideline. You know, that's your friend. That's your second defender out there. You definitely got to keep him to the sideline and try and push him out of bounds before he turns a corner there.
7th touchdown of the year for McLaughlin, primarily a receiver, but took that toss in for the touchdown. On December 4th, NET Television presents The Creightons, Building the Dream. This NET high-definition production takes a look at Omaha's Creighton family, the founders of Creighton University. Find out the impact this one family had on the development of Omaha. The Creightons, Building the Dream premieres Monday, December 4th at 7 Central, only on NET1 and in high definition on NET HD. So it's Auburn striking first, and we have a flag on the field, and the officiating crew will talk it over.
Had to figure out what the official on the far side saw over there.
No kick yet, and it didn't look when he threw it like anyone was off, and they will wave off the flag. So no penalty.
One of those oops, dude.
Yeah.
Oops, my flag fell out of my pocket.
Did I see what I thought I saw? No, you didn't see that. Oh, okay, well then never mind. So kicking it off for Auburn is Trent Jones, and he boots that deep. But it hangs around the 1, and that'll be picked up. And back comes Valentine. He has some room. Trent Jones still on his feet, and Trent Jones to the 45-yard line of Auburn. What a return after it was kicked over his head and he had to chase it to pick it up.
I'll tell you, watch the reaction right here. Well, we're not going to see it there, but just prior to that ball, he thought it was going to bounce and go into the end zone, but it did not, and he had to field it and had all the makings, Chad, of being a real problem as you see him heading upfield there and getting the ball clear out. Well, gets a past midfield to 45 yards. And
I tell you what,
and that was Ormisher on the return. Ormisher picked that up.
I tell you what, you see his unique ability to bounce off blocks and keep moving forward. This kid is an impressive running back, as we talked about, for his size. He definitely does a good job of getting yards after contact.
Ormisher gets it again.
That way that ball bounced, I know he was thinking that ball's going to go in the end zone. And then it took a sideways hop, and then he said, oh, golly, I got to get going with it. And sometimes the kick team, and Chad, you played on the kick teams, I believe, didn't you, a time or two?
Yep, my sophomore year.
Sometimes that kind of play can sort of throw your timing off because you think the ball, I mean, everybody just lets up a little bit, and then it's a problem.
You know what, Adrian, you're right, but that's why they teach you in practice every day we worked on. You got to run through the end zone.
Yep,
you can never let up, especially at that level.
And a swing pass out in the flat and caught by McCormick, and McCormick just inside the 40-yard line to about the 39. So that'll bring up a third down.
A little one-man screen out there.
And earlier today, we talked about with the coach about the strength of this Valentine squad.
Toughness. Our team's talked all year about being the most physical team in Class C1, and I think a lot of our opponents would agree with that. We not only do we hit and tackle hard, but our kids really like the big impact shot. Our free safety flies around, and his goal is to get 2 or 3 knockout shots in the course of a game. And you know, a lot of times free safety's back there to stop touchdowns, and his goal is to knock a couple people out if he can. And that's really the identity that our team has grown with for the course of the year.
And that carry just shy of the 35-yard line, so it'll bring up 4th down. Valentine will go.
This is a big play. It's going to be interesting to hear to see if Auburn's defense can step up and shut them down here on 4th and long.
Give to Ormisher. He's hit behind that marker, but spins and gets the first down. Nice carry by Ormisher.
Justin Lane had him right there at the line of scrimmage, but man, Ormisher, what instincts to make the hit, spin to the inside, and pick up a big first down. They had 9 people stacked up inside there that time. And Ormisher able to deal with that, and that's just terrifically tough football right there.
So good enough for the first down now. 1st and 10 from the 34-yard line of Auburn. Give once again up the middle, and that's good for a gain of 4. Ormisher on the carry one more time.
All Auburn is concerned about now, Chad, they're just putting 8-9 people up front there, just trying to stop that power running game, and sometimes they have a little success, but not for the most part yet.
I tell you what, Ormisher's done a good job, as we had mentioned, of just getting yards after contact. This Auburn defense has got 8 or 9 guys in the box. So once again, I look for Ryan Gass or one of these other receivers to step up and make a play here once they get inside the 30.
And the fake to Ormisher kept by Coleman, and Coleman dragged down, and once again a nice play by that Auburn defense. That's Quentin Keeler there with the tackle.
He's one of their top tacklers. 154 tackles on the year for Keeler, averaging just over 13 a game. The senior, just 185-pound linebacker, but man, playing tall there. And now another big play for Valentine here. They kind of broke down that series before. We'll have another timeout by Valentine.
So that will end it for the first quarter of play. The Bulldogs get on the board first, and they lead it. It's 6-0 after 1 quarter in the C1 championship game.
This program is brought to you by the Nebraska Soybean Checkoff. Soy biodiesel is a soy-based, clean-burning, renewable fuel that can be blended with petroleum diesel to reduce America's dependence on foreign oil. Soy biodiesel, making a difference for Nebraska's soybean farmers and you.
Programming is provided in part by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Nebraska.
These cost about $50. This costs about $57,000. Choosing to use these can help you avoid this. And since inactivity is a better predictor of death than smoking, high blood pressure, and even heart disease, using these more and this less could save you more than money. A message that's good to know from Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska.
NET Sports coverage of the 2006 Nebraska State High School Football Championships are brought to you in part by the Nebraska Public Power District, always there when you need us. By the Nebraska Soybean Board, encouraging the use of renewable biodiesel fuels for a healthier environment. For information, nesoybean.unl.edu. By Blue Cross Blue Shield of Nebraska, the Blues are good for you. And by the Education Quest Foundation, improving access to college through scholarships, grants, and college planning services. Auburn on top after one quarter, 6-0. We begin the second quarter and Valentine threatening. They have a 3rd and 4. 3rd down and 4 inside the Auburn 30. Ormisher in the backfield. The give is to Ormisher. He plows in there down to about that 26-yard line, but that'll be short, and it will bring up a 4th down.
Once again, Keeler underneath all of that, along with a couple teammates. Number 66, along with teammate right there, Caleb Carnahan. Both of those guys, two of the top tacklers on this football team. Carnahan with 119 coming in, and Keeler 154 tackles. It's a lot of banging.
So 4th down and 2.
Who do you think is going to carry? Take a good guess.
I like that 33 in the back.
Okay.
4th and 2. And we have another timeout. Once again, it'll be Valentine taking the timeout. And there's Jason Mitchell. Wants to talk it over. Apparently saw something that he did not like. Took the timeout. And it will still be 4th and 2. Well, be sure to be with us on Saturday, November 25th for NCAA volleyball as the Nebraska Cornhuskers host the Texas Longhorns live from the Nebraska Coliseum. That's November 25th, live at 7 Central right here on NET and NET HD, Nebraska's home for sports. Huskers bouncing back after that troubling road loss to Colorado, and the volleyball team still, though, despite the loss, ranked number 1 in the nation.
Sometimes a little bit of a loss like that, you know, you're around sports and you have such great success all year, and all of a sudden you get back to reality. That's and yeah, primes you for the final run. So maybe not so bad. You don't like to ever lose, but
I was going to say, Adrian, you just don't want to run too many of those together.
No.
I've been there before once or twice.
No, I tell you what, I'd rather take my chances with winning as opposed to priming for down the road and losing. So Valentine now, big play right here, guys. 4th and about a long 2. Let's call it a long 2.
So 4th and 2. Coleman is under center. Ormisher the lone back. Fake the pitch to Ormisher. Rolling right and left is Coleman. Coleman will keep it. He turns it up, and he'll have enough for the 1st down. Nice carry by Coleman, who got the 1st.
I tell you what, Coleman has rushed for 436 yards and 5 touchdowns on the year. Not necessarily a big-time threat with all those other weapons on the offensive side, but when he has a chance, he will scamper and gain yards.
Yeah, he's got a reputation for being very excellent in spaces.
Here's a look at that Valentine offense. The backs and receivers, Coleman, Arnold, Ormisher. McCormick is a wideout, Hand the tight end, and Gass another receiver. Offensive line, Nelson, Belleville, Hanson, Spain, and Jace Lemon. That's the interior line for this Badger offense, and they're on the move right now. 1st and 10 inside the 20. They give up the middle, Ormisher. He has some room, and he's down to about the 10-yard line. Nice carry once again by Mason Ormisher.
Excellent blocking, Matthew Spain. Here's the defense.
And here's a look at the defense. Tanner, Whistler, Carnahan, and Allgood in that defensive line. The backs and linebackers, Williams, McLaughlin, Lundy, Melich, Keeler, Teton, and Lane. And those are some good linebackers. Now 2nd down, and the keeper once again by Coleman. Coleman back to about the line of scrimmage. Maybe he lost a half yard. It'll bring up 3rd down.
Time James Belleville, the right guard, pulled out to lead that play around, and unfortunately his block man was blocked right into the ball carrier's track. But again, Melich able to or check that. Coleman able to get through that tackle and make pretty good yardage to create this 3rd and intermediate here.
3rd down and 4. Auburn on top by 6, but Valentine driving. Coleman will keep it, and he'll be sacked in the backfield. Busting through there and making the play once again, Jason Teton with the sack.
I tell you what, I'm ready to give Teton my MVP trophy right now. This kid is unbelievable. He just has that knack for finding the football.
Just trying to reach him there as he went through. His 8th sack of the year for Teton. And it comes at a big time right here. A 4th down play. Creates a 4th down play.
Interesting decision. Once again, Jason Mitchell being aggressive and going for it on 4th down.
Got to think about Coleman going out again.
They'll throw to the end zone and tipped away at the last minute. He had him for just a brief second. McCormick was open, but tipped away by that defense, and a nice play there by Keeler.
Excellent play by Keeler.
See it again right now. Coverage, pretty tight on the coverage, trying to throw the big fade route over here. And I believe it's number 38 that made that play. I believe it was number 38. Let's take a look again here, guys. Yeah, I believe it's 38, McLaughlin.
You know, we talked about that on the other night on the show as well, is making a play on the ball when it's up in the air. And that was just an excellent job by the defensive back there, is turning his head towards the ball and making a play.
So now on the field after turning him away on 4th is Auburn, and that give will be to Lundy, and Lundy out past the 20-yard line. Let's take a look at that Auburn Bulldog offense. A potent backfield. Melledge, Justin Lane, the fullback, and Luke Lundy, 2,300 plus yards rushing on the season. Cobb McLaughlin, the wingback. Tanner is the tight end, and Troy Williams, the speedster, at split end. In the offensive line, Palmerton, Carnahan, Wilson, Keeler, and Cole. They drive things up front for that Bulldog offense. So 2nd down, 8 for the Bulldogs. And a stretch give, handed out there. Once again, it's Lundy, and Lundy has some room, and he's tripped up at about the 49-yard line. Like Lundy had the area, couldn't get outside.
Looks like Tyler Osnes again. He's been a factor on 2 or 3 important tackles here today. This play just goes. Caleb Carnahan at the line of scrimmage, a terrific block to spring Lundy down the far sideline, and there you see that Osnes tackle.
I tell you what, in talking to Mark Oliver before the game, he said Lundy possessed 4.5 speed, and I have to admit, Adrian, on initial thought I was a little bit hesitant on that, but that kid can really fly. I tell you what, once he hits the corner, watch out.
Yeah, good burst there.
Good burst for a 6'2 running back, 220. Out quick to Williams. Williams out of the edge, and a gain of about 9 for Troy Williams. Let's take a look now at the Valentine defense. Badgers led defensively by that interior line, Hand, Furnow, Hanson, and Spain. And the backers, the quarterbacks, McCormick and Gass. Free safety is Oster. Ormesher is the strong safety, and those backers, Nelson Belleville is the stud back there, and Luke Arnold. 2nd down and 2. The give to the fullback right up the middle, and he busts forward is Justin Lane, and Lane near the 1st down. At about the 41.
Well done by the backer that time, number 64, Troy Nelson. Actually blocked pretty well on the play by Joel Wilson, the center, but able to work off the block and make the tackle.
And he'll be just short about a half yard, so it'll bring up 3rd and 1.
Chad, talk about, well, let's do it after this play, but talk about how a linebacker uses the shoulder and the hand as far as working off the block. We'll do it after this play.
3rd and 1. Melledge gives to Lundy, and Lundy has it easily. Keeps on his feet, and Lundy rumbles down to about the 30-yard line. 1st down for Auburn.
Go ahead, Chad.
I tell you what, Adrian, you know, look no further than James Belleville. This kid is really impressive. He uses his hands well. The whole key to being a linebacker, it doesn't matter how big, how fast you are, you've got to be able to use your hands and get off blocks. You need separation and the ability to have make-up speed after that separation to make a lot of plays at this level, or any level for that matter.
Let's go down to the sideline to John Bishop. John.
Well, you know, Luke Lundy, this is not his first dance in the playoffs. He came into the playoffs 4 years ago as a true freshman, and at just 5'9" and 170 pounds, rushed for 300 yards as Auburn tried to make their way back here to Memorial Stadium. So, as you can see, the young man has grown just a little.
Absolutely.
Well, that play right there is sort of typical of the respect that Valentine has for Lundy, because they had him boxed in, and he was fixing to make some yardage up the middle or right between all the box. But Troy Nelson, pursuing from the way on the backside, that far side, came down the line of scrimmage and made the tackle from the back end.
2nd down 11 for Auburn. Mellage will throw out to Wilson. Wilson has some room. Nice move by Wilson. He'll have enough for a first down near the 15-yard line.
I think Valentine's going to have to make an adjustment, Adrian. I just don't think they can play off 8 yards on Troy Williams. I think they're going to just continue to go to that well, swing it out there to the sideline, and let Williams make plays with his feet.
Yeah, Ryan Gass has been covering Williams for the most part here in the first half, and he's given him an 8 to a 10-yard cushion just about every formation, every set. And you're right, he needs to tighten that gap a little bit. You got to take a chance sometimes, and if you don't, that's what happens right there. You get the first down in close territory.
So from the 17-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs. Give to Lundy once again. Lundy bangs in there, and some positive yards inside the 15-yard line. Earlier today, we talked with Lundy's head coach about his performance.
Luke Lundy, our starting tailback, he's just a phenomenal athlete. And I've been in this business for 18 years, and he's got over 2,300 yards. He's averaging about 200 a game, about 10 yards a carry. He's just a super athlete, and we're fortunate to have him there and playing for us on our side of the ball. He's just unbelievable. His strength, his power, his speed, and he's really the linchpin of our offense.
Mark Oliver went on to say he's a D coordinator. He'd hate to have to scheme against Lundy. That completion out on the flat once again to Williams, and he gets it inside the 10-yard line. A gain of 5. That'll bring up 3rd down and 3.
You see Williams right there in the front. Go ahead, Chad.
Once again, sorry, Adrian. You notice that the defensive back's off 8 or 10 yards, and they're just throwing it out there to Troy Williams and letting him make plays. And it's kind of frustrating as a defensive player, especially as like a linebacker, when you see your DBs playing off the ball so far, because here you are trying to stop Luke Lundy from running the ball, and then they're just swinging it out on your defensive backs, and he's running for big gains.
So from the 10, the give to Lundy. Lundy tripped up at the line of scrimmage, but falls forward for a few yards.
I think he's going to be a little bit short the way it looks. To see where they spot this thing. Yeah, he's going to be short, I believe. So it'll be 4th and a long yard to go. And sometimes you just need to gamble. You need to risk with a wide receiver. Maybe you line up 8-10 yards deep, and then time your press or time your bang, as best you can. But you don't want to do it all the time, because they'll run by you eventually. But every now and then you got to press them. And here we go again. He's going to look for the slant to the inside here with Troy Williams.
And we're going to have a false start.
Although they'll probably just give it to Lundy and get that first down.
A timeout before the movement.
And building on what Adrian was saying, the biggest key is not how far you play off, but disguising your looks. You got to give that receiver different looks. You got to come up and play bump one play and then back off to 8 or 9 yards the next. You really got to disguise your looks to make him think as far as what kind of route he's going to run.
Well, it's time to test your Nebraska high school football knowledge with today's trivia question. The first correct email will win an NET Sports logo cap and an NET Sports Athletic gray t-shirt, size extra large. Here's the question. He was a Lexington All-Stater in football and basketball and a member of a 1957 state high school championship football team. He played college football for the University of Nebraska and later was an assistant coach for Bob Devaney's national championship teams. Today, he's considered by many to be the NFL's best defensive coordinator. His defensive mind helped to win the 2002 NFL Super Bowl. Who is this Lexington, Nebraska high school sports Hall of Fame winner? You can email your answer to sports@netnebraska.org. The first correct answer wins the NET Sports logo cap and t-shirt. Show us your high school football knowledge. Just send us an email to sports@netnebraska.org. And remember, the winner will be announced a little bit later in the game.
Well, Valentine's put a backer out here in the slot to take away that slab, but you got to think they're going to Lundy here.
4th and 1, it is Lundy, and he has enough for the first down and enough for the touchdown. Lundy in there for 6.
Had a chance to bring him down right about the 3-yard line. Tyler Osnes, number 15 again, a chance to do it, but man, that's about all he had was a chance.
I tell you what, Valentine's head coach said Osnes is the big hitter on that defense, and I tell you what, Luke Lundy definitely proved that he's the bigger man in that scenario. He just ran over Osnes.
Quentin Keeler, Joel Wilson, and Caleb Carnahan up front, the people clearing the way for the play. The two guards in the center, terrific blocking up front, and then just, you give the ball to a guy like Lundy about 3, 4, 5 yards out, and it's just tough to stop a guy like that.
Up 12-0 now. Auburn will go for 2. Back to pass. Melich throws, and good for Williams for 2 points. 14-0 Auburn.
See, that kind of coverage is tailor-made for a play like that. I mean, it's just tailor-made. Just a quick slant when you're playing soft coverage, quick slant in. Nebraska made a living off of that play against Colorado last year. Watch this. Chad?
You're exactly right, Adrian, as we had talked about. Well, first of all, here you see Luke Lundy bowling over Osnes for the touchdown, and then the ensuing 2-point conversion. We talked about this for the last 3 or 4 minutes here. Troy Williams is just getting soft coverage, and especially once you get inside the red zone, that defensive back's got to come up and play some bump and run, or else Williams is just going to kill him all night.
Yeah, you got to tighten the bolt on the receiver, or else you got a problem. Good lead block on the touchdown play. Justin Lane up inside there, leading Lundy up, into the track. And then Lundy doesn't need much more help after that.
I tell you what's impressive to me is that this Auburn team has already put up 14 points on this Valentine defense that Adrian talked about in the pregame. They're averaging only giving up about 9 points a game, and to have Auburn come in here and put up 14 in less than 2 quarters is pretty impressive.
And 136 yards of the first quarter by Auburn. Valentine was giving up just 164 season average per team, and right now they're making it look pretty easy.
Auburn on top here in this second quarter of play. 3:55 left before halftime. Auburn will kick it away. Brought back once again by Teaton, and he's out to about the 25-yard line. Well, if you'd like a DVD of this game or any of the state high school football or volleyball championships, log on to netnebraska.org and click on Shop NET. Or you can call 1-800-868-1868. It's a memory that will last for years to come. NET is Nebraska's home for sports. And coming up at the half, we'll be joined by the NSAA's Larry Mulring. We'll be able to talk a little bit about the state cross-country meet, which was recently held. And we'll also take a look at the first half highlights and have some statistics as well. So Valentine down by 2 touchdowns, goes to the air, and a nice grab and pulled down by Ryan Gass in Auburn territory. Nice pitch and catch there by Coleman and Gass.
Good mismatch right there, Chad, in terms of the reception.
And definitely, we talked about that in the pregame. Once again, you've got a 6'5" guy, Ryan Gass, going up and getting the ball. He's an excellent basketball player. In fact, his coach Jason Mitchell talked about the fact that he's probably going to end up playing somewhere college basketball.
5-inch advantage over the defender on that play.
So the big play by Valentine puts them in Auburn territory. To the air one more time is Coleman. He's got Gass again, and this time just off of his fingertips.
I tell you what, you can really tell why Coleman's throwing for 1,500 yards in a hurry. This kid's got a nice arm. I know this offense is built around Ormusher, but Coleman is an excellent passer, and he really has some great receivers in Ryan Gass and the like to go to.
Boy, about another half. Well, he's got an opportunity to catch it right there. I was going to say about another half step. He's got the football thrown right into double coverage. 2 defenders right there. Interesting set right here. Three receivers to the wide or to the short side.
And a give inside the Ormusher, and he's packed up and stacked up by that tough Auburn defense. In there for the tackle was Josie Whistler.
Josie's a little bit jacked up here also. We're in the second quarter. Watch 57 here. Boom, nobody touched him, and he's there to make a big hit. Josie Whistler, 40 tackles coming into the ball game, and a big one right there. That'll be a nice highlight play for the Whistler library.
Absolutely. I think he was just a little bit excited, huh, Adrian?
I think so.
So that brings up 3rd down 12.
Linebackers like to get that way, you know.
Oh yeah, I've been there before.
And the toss out to Ormusher. And Ormusher drugged down from behind, and one more time it's Whistler with the play.
You know, Well, I always like to talk about backers, Chad. Here we see again is guards pulling. Both guards are pulling right there. That's Matthew Spain and James Belleville, but the play is shut down pretty quickly by the Auburn defenders. But Chad, you always like to talk about linebackers with the nostrils flaring and the eyes are glazed over and foaming at the mouth, and you just make the play, right?
Exactly. And if you look there on that particular play, Adrian, a lot of it just comes down to aggressiveness and the want to get to the ball. And right there, Whistler just took an excellent angle. And I tell you what, when he hits people, he likes to bring them down to the turf in a hurry.
So that'll bring up a 4th down, and they're going to talk things over here before deciding what to do on 4th down late here in this first half. 2:30 left.
You know, Larry, years ago, Colorado had a running back who every time he carried the football, he would just scream as loud as he could. And I thought, you make a pretty good linebacker, because some of us over the years had a tendency to do that,
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you, Adrian. I know that I didn't play very quiet. In fact, I used to get quite a bit of hard time about that myself.
Yeah.
I tell you what, this is a huge drive here, a huge decision. Valentine's coach, you're down 14-0 headed into the half, and I tell you what, Auburn's defense has been awful stingy, but then again, you don't want to give them another chance to score and go up 21-0.
4th and 9, and they will punt it away. And he's buried under at the 15-yard line. So Auburn will have the ball with 2:21 left here in this first half of play.
Kyle McLaughlin on the reception down there and just waiting to the last possible moment to make the grab. You see right there, that's great coverage. Just absolutely, you've got to give him an opportunity to catch the football. They did that, and then just drove him right to the turf. That's excellent work by the Valentine punt coverage team.
Right in the middle of that was number 15, Tyler Ozis, and talking to his coach earlier too, he said that guy is the guy. He's almost like a Brandon Rigoni type of guy. They said that he likes to fly around and he'll jump over piles, hit people late. He's kind of a crazy man out there.
And the toss goes to Lundy, and now in the reverse back to Williams, and Williams has some room out here to the left. Nice cut there, stays on his feet, he's out to the 30 and still going, and drugged down from behind. And a nice hustle and nice play by Troy Nelson to make that stop from behind. But Williams with a 20-yard gain out to about the 42-yard line.
Jeremy Hand's going to have a chance here, 88. Watch the top right of your screen. He's going to have a chance here to make the play, but he gets blocked to the inside by Drew Tanner. And then it's off to the races for Auburn.
Nice move there by Williams at about the 25 to pick up another 15.
Yeah, Valentine needs to tighten it down right here. They cannot afford to let another TD go up here with 1:54 and counting.
Clock ticking inside 2 minutes. They give to Lundy. Try the reverse again, this time.
Reverse pass. Nice call.
Up top, and it's going to be picked off. Picked off by Valentine to the backfield.
Ryan Gass on the interception. Watch him take over. Watch him turn into a receiver right there. He did a great job, and once he caught the ball, he definitely tried to pick six, get to the end zone, and turn this game around for his Valentine team.
A little razzle-dazzle, takes a while for this play to develop, and that's part of the reason the play is underthrown, because the receiver's going downfield. You got to throw it a long ways right there as Melich winds it up and throws it, but it's underthrown, and Gass, well, get it to the inside. And watch the pop after the throw. Boom. Oh, my. That'll make you think twice next time.
And that will give Valentine new life here late in this first half. Down by 14. And now with the ball at the 26-yard line. And we have a timeout on the field. Auburn will take timeout to talk things over. Mark Oliver wants to go out and visit with his defensive unit. Oliver in his 18th season at Auburn. He's only been the head coach for 2 years. He took over in the middle of the season last year.
Likes that geography too, as we heard early on the report by John Bishop, the 40-96.
And earlier before the game, we talked to Mark Oliver. He talked about his star receiver, Troy Williams.
Troy Williams, a split end, a transfer for us last year from New Orleans that came up. He's about 6'4", 190 pounds, and just a lot of ability. And he's a big playmaker for us.
Afternoon. He has been a big playmaker. When they play off him, he can catch it underneath and make some yards after the catch. Nice run and showed his moves on the reverse. So Valentine with the ball. And the give on the reverse inside the 15-yard line, and that'll be enough for a first down. Nice carry by the Badgers, number 34, Luke Arnold.
You know, it was a nice carry, but there's a fundamental mistake made on this play. James Belleville, the right guard, pulls out. Now watch it here. 52 is going to pull out, lead the play, and here we go. Now watch, let him set up his block, but the ball carrier there does not do that. Luke Arnold does not allow for that to happen, and he goes to the outside. All he needs to do is let it set up, cut to the inside. He's got a touchdown.
So first down and 14. Valentine down by 2 touchdowns. 1:29 left here in this first half. And have a flag on the field. And it's going to be a delay of game on Valentine. So that'll back them up 5 yards. Bring up 1st and 15 now from the 18.
Tell you what, penalties like that'll kill you too. You know, you're trying to go into the half down 14-7. You need a big touchdown here, and to back yourself up 5 yards, it just really kills you.
Fake to Ormisher. Coleman looks up top, looks in the end zone, and wide open for the touchdown for Valentine is Taylor McCormick.
McCormick coming on just a crossing route deep in the end zone. Oftentimes very tough to account for that guy, but he gets it his 5th touchdown pass or completion pass reception of the year.
Just what Valentine needed here late in this first half, down by 2 touchdowns. They take advantage of the turnover. Extra point is up, and it is good, and they pull to within 7.
Here it is again. Good play action here. Holds the backers a little bit. Watch the top of your screen right there as touchdown pass is going to float right in to the waiting arms of Taylor McCormick.
That Coleman really throws a nice ball. You know, we had mentioned that earlier, but I know they're more of a running team, but I tell you what, he's got an excellent ball flight on his passes.
And here's a look at that 2-play scoring drive. 26 yards, just 14 ticks off the clock, and an 18-yard touchdown pass to Taylor McCormick from Greg Coleman.
And as we talked about before, guys, it's great when your defense comes up with a turnover. It's doubly great, even more. I don't know, characterize it however you want to, but when you can come up with a turnover and then your offense capitalizes and scores, it's just the best.
So kicked off by Dredge. He just squibs it along the ground, and it'll be covered up by Auburn. Whistler there to recover it. So Auburn will have the ball at the 41-yard line with 1:19, and still some time for Auburn to try to get on the board before half.
I'm just a little bit of a quandary as to why Valentine's doing that and what the object and purpose. I mean, if you're going to try to make a sudden change right there, that's just not the sort of action on the ball you want. But,
you almost have to wonder, Adrian, you're right.
Yeah.
Jason Mitchell had to see something on film, or else I don't think he tried 2 onside kicks in the first half here. He must be seeing a dead spot there where he thinks he can get a sudden change like you were talking about.
Figured that one out.
No room for Lundy on the carry. And the clock ticks near 1 minute here in the first half. Luke Lundy so far on the afternoon. 10 carries, 59 yards. With 1 on that, it's now 11 carries for 60 yards for Luke Lundy. And that 1 touchdown. So 2nd down 8. Mix up in the backfield caused by Valentine, and Valentine says they have the ball. It was on the ground, and they come up with it.
It was Tyler Hansen, 57 for Valentine, who caused all the mayhem and caused the turnover right here. Watch him. Number 57 is going to skirt the block right there. And see, he gets involved in everything right there, knocks everything loose, pulls the ball out. That's great stuff by Tyler Hansen, the senior.
Jeremy Hand on the recovery. Let's go down to John Bishop.
It looked like they were going to turn around and come back with a little counterplay, and actually when he was trying to hand the football off, it ended up being knocked out by a Valentine player. It almost ended up that he took the handoff himself, but the ball got knocked loose. Valentine with a huge turnover and a shot here with 36 seconds left.
Valentine fakes the give. Melledge looks up top. It's Coleman looking up top. Throws it out there, and it's pulled down. Was he in bounds?
Stopping the clock to talk it over. I think they're going to mark it. Yeah, they are.
Ryan Gass with the catch, and he was in bounds, marked right at the 15-yard line. The catch is good.
I don't know if we get a replay on that, but you'll see Ryan Gass acts like a basketball player there, does a good job going up to the highest point, catching the ball. But as you look after this play, Troy Williams, I believe, or maybe one of the other Auburn defensive back, actually ends up with the ball there. So I tell you what, that was an interesting call down there.
Good job by Coleman to get the ball off, because as you saw, I mean, he was being pursued hotly on the back-end run as he threw that ball across his body to the left there. As we have a timeout here, I think an official's timeout.
Officials talking that play over. They all agree. Catch good at the 15. So 24 seconds left here in this first half. Valentine trying to get on the board one more time. Coleman will stop the clock. And no time ticks off.
I tell you what, guys, how big are turnovers? You know, less than a half a quarter ago, we were looking at Auburn maybe getting up to a 21-point lead heading into the half, and now Valentine, after a turnover and a touchdown in first and then a turnover, is now maybe cutting to the game at a 14-14 tie going into the half.
Well, they've really lived all season by that defense. So see it again right here as Gass is going to go up high. Good job to box out. He came down inbounds. The ball's out. The ball. I think he let her go after he got out of the. Look out! Here we go.
Rolling is Coleman, looking to the end zone under a lot of pressure, and Coleman will be brought down back at the 30-yard line, inbounds, and the clock will keep ticking.
Coleman, you talk about fundamental mistakes. You get down in that territory, guys, and you do not want to have happen what just have happened. You don't want to fumble, or you don't want to take the sack. And in this case, he takes the sack about where was that ball spotted, Larry, before?
About the
15-yard line. So he's
15-yard sack.
15-yard sack.
And Valentine takes its final timeout to stop the clock. One more look here at that pursuit.
Keeler on the pursuit, coming hard. Looked like Ryan Allgood finishing up. Well, that's a tough play. You just took your team totally out of scoring position. You take a look at Valentine's field goal kicker, Adam Dredge. He's a 5 for 9 with a long of 39. So he definitely had a shot earlier, but now that's impossible.
Well, we've been encouraging you all week to shoot us an email. Let us know how we're doing here on NET. We encourage you to do the same. Drop us an email at sports@netnebraska.org and let us know how we're doing. The fade route just over the outstretched hands of Gass. And Gass can't quite catch up to that. In fact, we have one email here just sent in. As we reside in the shadow of Chimney Rock of western Nebraska, some 400 miles from you, we do so appreciate being included in these great activities as football this week and volleyball last weekend. Truly, it is so enjoyed. Thank you to Steve and Kathy Erdman for sending that in of Baird, Nebraska. And you can drop us an email as well at sports@netnebraska.org. You can drop us a line and let us know how we're doing. And if you like our coverage of the Nebraska State High School Football Championships here at Memorial Stadium this weekend.
Got to be looking to Gass again here, guys, I would think. Nope.
It'll be reversed, and they'll go with the flea flicker now. Coleman flips it out there and over the hands as they tried to go back to Ormisher after Ormisher took the initial handoff.
Lots of activity. Get this play takes a lot of time to develop. 1 pitch, 2 pitch, 3 pitch, 4 pitch, and still way overthrown. So, Chad, I don't know. I'm thinking, well, yeah, we're talking about going over. So this one will end up here. 5 seconds left.
And Melledge, the quarterback for Auburn, will kneel to end this first half. So a back and forth first half. Auburn takes the initial 14-point lead, but then puts a couple on the turf and has an interception. Valentine capitalizes on one of those, and now at the half, it's 14-7. The Bulldogs are on top.
Valentine missing a golden opportunity to get on the board here right late in the first half, and I think we have John Bishop down on the field.
Coach, that's a huge turnover that you got. Ryan Gass's interception setting up your first score.
Yeah, we've made big plays all year on the defensive end, and I guess that's where we have to continue to make plays in the state championship game. That's what got us here.
Are you wary of their return game? We've noticed on both your kickoffs you've gone short. Are you trying to surprise them with something?
Well, we haven't kicked deep all year. We've kicked maybe 4 kicks deep all year, and I think 3 of them went back for touchdowns. And about the third game of the year was the last time we kicked the ball deep. We still rep it every once in a while, but for the most part, that's just how we do it. We have enough confidence in our defense that we feel if they're going to score, it's probably going to be a big play anyway, so we don't worry about where we give them the ball to start.
Good luck in the second half.
Thanks a lot.
All right, thank you, John. So at the halftime, the Bulldogs on top of the Badgers. It's 14-7, Auburn in the lead.
Some people tell me it's just a game, but it's more than that, at least to me. It's years of playing catch with my dad and friends in the backyard. It's a drawer full of jerseys and a lifetime of loving the game.
The Nebraska Public Power District congratulates every player and coach who plays the game safely, with spirit, integrity, and pride. Nebraska Public Power District, always there when you need us. Together with your local public power utility.
Programming is provided in part by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Nebraska.
Escalator or stairs? It may seem like an easy choice, but the hard truth is the illness and disease that result from inactivity cost about $76 billion a year to treat. At Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska, we believe that cost is much too high, and not just in terms of money. So when it comes to keeping you healthy and keeping healthcare affordable, walking works. Your health, your choice.
Hi, Kevin Kugler and Adrian Fiala inviting you to join us for Big Red Wrap-Up.
Kevin, our guest will be sports writer Lee Barfnick from the Omaha World Herald.
Join us Tuesday, November 28th for Big Red Wrap-Up here on NET, Nebraska's home for sports.
NET Sports coverage of the 2006 Nebraska State High School Football Championships are brought to you in part by the Nebraska Public Power District, always there when you need us. And by Time Warner Cable, proud to provide the 2006 NSAA State Volleyball Championships through Nebraska On Demand, available on Channel 101. And welcome back to Memorial Stadium for this Class C1 State Championship game. Auburn leads Valentine 14-7 at the half at Memorial Stadium. Good to have you with us again for the State High School Football Championships. I'm joined now at halftime by Larry Mulring of the NSAA. We're going to talk a little bit NSAA cross country, which was held in Kearney just not too long ago. Why don't you talk about the boys' side of things?
Boys' side, and I can't even tell you who won. We had a tremendous day, though. Cross country is really increased in numbers in our state, and we've had an excellent couple of years now that I've been involved with it, where the weather really cooperated, and once we get decent weather, it makes everything else like clockwork. So no, it was really an excellent day.
Cross country, one of those sports it's always very nice to have during great weather.
Yeah. when you're running, and actually the day was, first of all, UNK has an awesome course out there at the country club. And they've done it so long now that it's old hat for them, but they really do a great job. Rich Broderson with UNK is in charge of the event out there, and Andy Meyer really do an excellent job. And they've got approximately 75 college athletes that are track athletes that come out and are involved with helping that, and they really do an excellent job with that.
I know UNK and Kearney in general really embraces this event. It's been out there for a long time, and they really do a great job with it.
Yeah, and I really apologize. I should know the number of years we've been out there, because I think there's only been 4 years that we've offered cross country that they didn't host. But it's been an awesome experience for us, and we look forward to a continued relationship with the people in Kearney.
And you continue to expand cross country. I know you had more runners than ever at the cross country meet this year.
We did. In Class D, we went to a 5th district, which approximately made 25 runners involved in each race. So we had about 117 girls, I think, and 118 boys in each of those races. The other classes average about 90, and that's a pretty good field for us. So.
Here's a look at the results of the boys' side of the state cross-country meet. Millard South won the boys' Class A. Ogallala winning the girls' title. Norfolk Catholic in Class C. And then in Class D, where you added that 5th district, it was Malcolm winning the state title. Then on the girls' side, Omaha Marion won it in Class A. Gearing in Class B. Fort Calhoun took that Class C title, and Crofton winning in Class D. So another successful state cross-country meet.
I'd have to say it was successful. Like I said, UNK does an excellent job with it. One of the people, Malcolm, Jack Tarr at Malcolm, was instrumental in getting that 5th district. I know he did some arm twisting and with some of the schools, but they've been very successful at Malcolm, and that shows again with their Class D championship in the boys division.
Larry Mulring from the NSAA. Larry, thanks very much for joining us. We appreciate you being here.
Hey, thanks a lot for all the things that you do for us.
We appreciate it. Thanks very much. Well, at the halftime, it's Auburn on top of Valentine, 14-7. We'll be back at Memorial Stadium in just a moment.
Programming on NET television is provided in part by Education Quest Foundation. For over 20 years, Education Quest has provided free college planning resources to help students search colleges, search for scholarships, complete financial aid applications, and learn more about student loans. Education Quest is located in Kearney, Lincoln, and Omaha. Appointments available at 800-666-3721.
This program is brought to you by the Nebraska Soybean Checkoff. Soy biodiesel is a soy-based, clean-burning, renewable fuel that can be blended with petroleum diesel to reduce America's dependence on foreign oil. Soy biodiesel, making a difference for Nebraska's soybean farmers and you.
The American dream may be a much overplayed symbol, but nonetheless a very important guiding light for so many new immigrants to this country. And the McCrades are our prime example.
They were entrepreneurial giants in the history of Omaha, in the history of Nebraska, in the history of the West.
NET Television presents the story of the Creightons, a family that was determined to change the country and put Omaha on the map.
Coming in December to NET1.
And we're back here at Memorial Stadium for the Class C1 state championship game at halftime. Auburn leads it over Valentine 14-7. And the Bulldogs took that early lead at 14-0, but Valentine on the couple of turnovers, they capitalized on one, did not on another, pulled to within 7 at the half, and 14-7 is where we're at. Let's take a look at some highlights from the first half. And early on, the pressure provided from the outside by Auburn, and then Auburn gets things going. McLaughlin with the carry there. For the touchdown.
Carry in for the touchdown, and here comes the point. Well, blocked here.
So that made it 6-0.
You see Orbisher here. Taking that kickoff that looked perhaps like it was going to be a problem, but he turns that problem into a great run all the way up past midfield.
And then Williams on the reverse here. Williams finds some room and a nice move here at about the 15.
Guy's got some feet. He makes the feet work, and excellent speed.
And one more
there on the throw.
Coleman finds McCormick in the back of the end zone for the touchdown for Valentine, and that made it 14-7. And here's a look at the halftime stats in Class C1. Rushing yards dominated by Auburn, 125-34.
And Larry, that's a big number, 125 for Auburn, because Valentine's defense on the year had been giving up just 75 yards a game, so they have 125 yards here in the first half.
The Badgers just 34 on the ground, another big number. Total yards 157, 118. And you see the one fumble led to points, 7 first downs to 9, and the score 14-7. So stats other than the rushing yards very even, but the score 14-7. So in the Class C1 title game, it's Auburn on top of Valentine, 14-7. And the Bulldogs have struggled a bit, but able to take that lead and up by 7. So we'll be back with the rest of the halftime from here at Memorial Stadium. Auburn on top, 14-7 over Valentine. And welcome back to Memorial Stadium. We're at the half. It's Auburn on top of Valentine, 14-7 in this Class C1 state championship game. And it was all Auburn early on, taking that 14-0 lead. They capitalized off a turnover, but back came Valentine after getting 2 turnovers. And Valentine scores, just pulled it within 7, and that's where we are at the half, 14-7. Auburn on top in the C1 title game.
You bet, Larry. And Mason Orbisher for Valentine, 47 yards as far as rushing goes. Luke Lundy, the big, I tell you, that guy's a big horse. He's just tough to bring down. But 11 carries for 60 yards. He has a touchdown involved with that. And Kyle McLaughlin, just a couple carries, 44 yards, but a big run, a 41-yard run for a touchdown.
And now here's a message from the NSAA.
Peer group is so important nowadays, and I believe with the athletics camaraderie we have in team building, whether it's in one-act play or in music, those kids develop such a positive relationship with their peer group, and they surround themselves for that time period, whether it's at practice or rehearsals or whatever. They're with kids that are very similar to them and what they're trying to achieve. They also become great managers of time, because our students that are in a sport or in a couple activities or in one-act plays or speech or debate, you name it, they know that their time management skills have to be excellent. If they want to maintain good grades, if they want to have success in the classroom and success in what they're doing after school and at night, they have to really be well organized. They have to really be focused. And I think a lot of our student athletes and our student activity people do just that.
The NSAA, for nearly a century, enhancing education in Nebraska through high school activities.
And the 2006 Nebraska State High School Football Championships are being carried live over the internet. So if you have friends or family who don't have access to NET, have them log on to netnebraska.org, click sports, follow the prompts to State High School Football. NET is Nebraska's home for sports. Great opportunity to catch the State High School Championships all over the world.
Valentine crowd there, they're all down. A lot of people came out, as Jason Mitchell talked about, lots of people coming down from the Valentine area. Those not able to attend, listening in or watching in with us. Great to have you with us. And John Bishop is down on the sidelines. Let's go down to John.
Well, Coach, you had him going there 14-0, and then the big turnover off of the second time we saw the double reverse. A decision you probably regret?
Yeah, we regret that. We'd like to go in 14-0, but, other than that, I think the kids are playing real well defensively. We gave them the short field on that, but they've came up with some big stops. We're going to keep doing what we're doing defensively. Offensively, we're going to open it up a little bit more and see if we can get Williams the ball and see if we can get McLaughlin the ball and see if we can put a few more touchdowns up there.
Well, we noticed 10 yards off the ball, they're playing Williams. That's probably something you're used to seeing, aren't you?
Yeah, they're playing off and they're giving us that out and that hitch, so we're just going to keep hitting it. If they're going to give us 7 yards a shot or 8 yards a shot, we'll continue to take that and then maybe lull them to sleep a little bit and hit them with a big one later.
Good luck to you in the second half.
Thank you very much.
And that's Coach Mark Oliver in his second year as the head coach at Auburn. His team up 14-7. You know, he didn't mention Lundy there, although Lundy has 60 yards. But I'm thinking if you're Valentine holding Lundy to 60 yards, that might be a win in the first half.
I would think so, Larry. Except he really ran for 60 tough yards, and we saw just how tough it is to bring that guy down. And he'll continue to blister it, I think, in the second half here for Auburn. But we shall see. As Chad talked about, 6'2", 220 and 4'5". I mean, that's tough. C1 level. That's tremendous physical talent right there.
You're right, Adrian. As you looked at the way the first half progressed, in the first quarter, they were really doing a good job of sticking 8-9 in the box and shutting down Lundy. But as the game progressed, he broke a big run, and then he ran over that guy down inside the 10-yard line for that second touchdown.
You're always mindful of a guy like Lundy, and then you've got to be mindful of a guy like Troy Williams. And I really look for Troy Williams if they pick it up from upstairs here. The slant pattern, if that backer shades up in a little bit tight, that slant pattern is going to be open, and you might see that happen a couple of times here with Troy Williams. So one thing I was going to ask you guys is Valentine, Nebraska, nationwide and around the world. Have you ever sent your Valentines up to have them stamped with the big heart and all that, guys?
On Valentine's Day? I've never done that. I think,
Chad, you do that every year, don't you?
I was thinking more about Valentine for the great hunting and fishing I got out there. I'm sure my wife doesn't want to hear that, but I tell you, when I think of Valentine, I think of, like I said, the hunting and fishing.
Yeah, people will box up all their Valentines for their, they'll send them in a box. Say, hey, put the big. I've done that a couple of times actually. Actually, I've been in Valentine or a couple 3 days prior to that, and they really beautiful stamps. So
I'll tell you, for people who don't get out and experience the entire state of Nebraska, that is just unbelievable. Part of Nebraska up there around Valentine. Just
beautiful. I tell you what, Larry, Adrian's kind of scaring me over here. He's an old linebacker, and he's kind of turning soft on me in his old days. He's getting a little soft, little lovey-dovey with his wife there.
Well, I'll tell you what, it pays off in spades later on, Chad. You'll find out.
Have you ever heard of the man rules, Adrian?
Pardon me?
The man rules, Adrian.
You and I are going to have to step out in the hall.
Guys, don't leave me alone in here, please. All right, so it'll be Auburn kicking it off to start this second half, and fielded by Valentine and brought out to about the 25-yard line. That was Trent Jones taking it out there. So Trent Jones, Valentine now takes it, and Valentine has it 1st and 10 from the 20.
1st and 10 from the 20. They've capitalized once on field position. Let's see if they can. They don't have very good position here. The long field, in a sense, 75 yards away.
Down by 7, first possession of this second half. And Coleman gives up the middle. Ormisher with a big hole and gets out to the 40-yard line. That's enough for a first down. Ormisher, wide open hole to bust through.
Yeah, kind of like swinging the double doors open at the theater right here. Look at that block by Matthew Spain, number 53, and just a straight shot right up the gut. Spain and Tyler Hansen, the center, and James Belleville, the other guard, just clearing the way again. And seen a lot of great power football between the tackles today.
So 1st and 10 from the 40 for Valentine. Ormisher again has room in there. Not much. You pick up about 3. That'll bring up 2nd and 7. They're going with Ormisher here right up the middle to start this second half. A lot of people looked at the schedule of these two teams and talked about the road that they took to get here, and it certainly looked like a more difficult road for Auburn as they knocked off the number 10 and 7 ranked teams. Valentine head coach Jason Mitchell was quick to point out that throughout the season they played Winter, South Dakota, which ended up playing in the South Dakota State Championship game, and that was a good win at 33-28 for this Valentine squad. Ormisher again. And there for the tackle, Whistler. Whistler's been active here late in the second quarter and to start this third.
Always good to see the backers stepping up like Whistler did right there. Although he will play at times down in that down line position and comes up free, makes that hit.
I'll tell you, for a guy that only has 40 tackles on the season, he has 4 or 5 already tonight, and he's really flying around and trying to make the most out of this experience of playing on this field today.
Very active. So that brings up 3rd down, 3rd and 5 from the 45 on the option. Coleman keeps it. Coleman dragging the tackler with him, and he has enough for the first down.
Thought that play was going to be stopped, Chad.
Yeah, so did I, but I tell you what, Coleman did a good job. As you watch here on the replay, he really lets the play develop. His fullback gets up there and does a great job of blowing up number 30, and then Coleman, like I said, kind of a tough, hard run up off the right edge.
Caleb Carnahan on the tackle, one of the top tacklers on this ball team, but not soon enough. They pick up the first down.
The Badgers now in Bulldog territory to start the second half. Coleman keeps it, pulls it out of the belly of Ormisher. Still on his feet is Coleman, but he'll be drugged down at about the 45. Good pursuit by that Bulldog defense, and there was Quentin Keeler making the tackle.
Kyle McLaughlin comes up here, number 38. He's going to fly in the picture here. Watch him here. Another excellent block right there by James Belleville, and there you see McLaughlin not making the tackle, Chad, but sometimes you don't do it. You set it up for your buddies.
I tell you what, Adrian, you're right there, and I really look at James Belleville on that play for his, as known as he is as an outstanding linebacker, perhaps the best in C1. He's a tremendous pulling guard for his Valentine offense.
Second and 8 from the 45. Coleman has it again, fumbled the ball on the ground. And it looked like Valentine got back on top of it late, and Valentine will keep the ball.
I think it was Troy Nelson that comes up with the football, the right tackle for Valentine. He's a senior. Pursuit here on Coleman. Oh, wow, that's a tough one right there. You get rolled up on the back end. Fortunately, he's okay. That was number 80 for Auburn, Ryan Allgood. But then it all starts to happen, but they maintain possession. Valentine maintains possession.
Third and 8. Not enough for the first down, as that give was to the fullback.
Interesting call there, Adrian, on 3rd and 8.
Yeah, it was. Go ahead, Chad.
You look here, you're thinking play action or something to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter here. And like I said, kind of an interesting call, going ahead with the fullback and trying to see if you can maybe get yourself in a manageable 4th down. Maybe he's planning on going here. Jason Mitchell's been aggressive all game long. And like I said, maybe he's just trying to get himself in a manageable 4th down situation here.
Trying to make Luke Arnold, get Luke Arnold involved in the running play and running that counter coming back across everything. And Auburn ready for the play and shut it down. A long 4th down right here.
The fake to McCormick. Now he'll throw. Coleman up top and finds his man at the 25-yard line. Nice toss by Coleman and complete at the 25.
It was Taylor McCormick on the catch. And man, what a nice throw. It looked like perhaps Dana Milage is going to have a chance to knock it down. Watch the play action. Well done as far as the ball handling goes. Now Coleman delivers. Now watch number 8 right there, just out of his grasp. And McCormick, wow, game of centimeters.
A big pickup on 4th down for Valentine. 1st and 10 from the 25. Give up the middle, and Ormisher nowhere to go.
Saw that coming, Chad.
Yeah, definitely. They try to get it out to the perimeter of the last play. They're trying to get it to Ormisher now up the middle. They're just trying to establish that ground game here, Adrian, start of the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, the Quentin Keeler, you could see a little bit of action just before the snap. He was plugging the gaps, and that's one thing Auburn has done all year is control the gaps, and they control it that time with Quentin Keeler as he plugged that gap between the center and the guard, that A gap, and made the play, made a good play.
So 2nd down and 10 on the option. Coleman keeps, pitches out, and it's bobbled. The pitch is loose, and it's picked up by Auburn. Once again, it's Quentin Keeler recovering the fumble, and Auburn has the turnover.
It's kind of a blind pitch here. Coleman not sure where that pitch man really was.
Keeler does a good job there. That's his 3rd fumble recovery of the season. As you can tell, he's flying around. And I tell you what, Adrian, once again, before the game, I saw that he had 154 tackles on the year. I had to second guess that myself, but I tell you what, seeing him so far, I think he's got about 10. He's on pace for, 10, 15 tackles a game. You can definitely see why he racked up so many tackles this year.
Well, Valentine misses a golden opportunity there, moving the football.
So now Dana Millage on to run the show for the Auburn Bulldogs. Luke Lundy is the odd back, and the give will be to Lundy. Lundy barrels in there for a gain of 7 out to the 40-yard line.
Valentine started out, back at the 25-yard line and moved it all the way down to the 30 or inside the 35, and then that problem there is Auburn collects the fumble, and that puts the pressure on your defense. But this is a defense that has measured up all year.
tell you what, you're right, Adrian, but in talking to head coach Jason Mitchell for Valentine, this is the exact position he didn't want to find himself going into the second half. He said that he thought whichever team had the first half advantage definitely had advantage because of their strong running games in the second half, and really to kind of milk the clock and rely on their star running backs to kind of take this thing home.
Lundy carries again for the first down, and Lundy refused to go down after the first hit, out to the 47-yard line.
About 6 yards after contact. Watch this play. He's going to get hit right there by number 64 for Valentine. That's Troy Nelson, but doesn't work. And then about 6 yards later, he finally goes down.
So 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs. Up 14-7 here in this third quarter. 6:15 left to go in the quarter.
Now, Adrian, as a linebacker here, you see how short those backs are to the line. They're playing at about 3 or 4 yards depth. Yep. I think that's a pretty good key that they're going to be getting the ball, you know. Those linebackers, you think they'd start cheating up and hitting the holes a little harder, because I tell you what, you're going to get a heavy dose of Luke Lundy the second half.
You bet. And watch where check it out here. Belleville. See, he's lined up. He's lined up much, much deeper than you normally would be. Works for him, though. He's a great player. He reacts very well. They double team him on that play, and Lundy cuts her back.
You're right, Adrian. I tell you what, now that they're at the 50-yard mark, I think I can make this remark. I'd love to see Lundy and Belleville just kind of stand toe-to-toe in midfield and see who came out on top. I tell you, that'd be pretty exciting, guys.
So we're going to have a timeout on the field called by Mark Oliver and the Auburn Bulldogs, their first time out of this second half. Be sure to join us tonight for the Class B state championship game as Crete takes on Elkhorn. The Cardinals and the Antlers battling for that Class B state championship. You can catch it right here on NET and NET HD, Nebraska's home for sports. And that should be a good one as well. Elkhorn just rolled through the playoffs. I think opened everyone's eyes when they won that semifinal game 35-0.
Over Beatrice team. Over a Beatrice team that had beat Crete earlier in the year. So this should be a big challenge for Crete, and especially their defense.
A lot of animated discussion going on in that defensive huddle down there with Valentine as they were getting great instruction from their coaches. See how it all works out here. Jason Mitchell laying it all on the line, on the table for his defense. As you see Belleville there. You know, his jersey, guys, 52 is kind of torn up. Mark of a great backer. Torn letters and all the nicks on the helmet.
2nd down and 6. Give to Lundy one more time, and Lundy barrels in there, continues to battle. He gets down to about the 48-yard line into Valentine territory.
Well, there's that matchup you look for, Adrian. Right there, your boy Belleville comes up and sticks Lundy in the hole. I tell you what, those two guys, they like to bring the wood here, as we like to call it as linebackers. What a tremendous hit there, and Lundy does a good job of just holding on to the ball there.
A few sparks flying on that play, guys. Hammer and tong, as we talk about, Chad. Hammer and tong football.
I tell you what, you're right. Belleville is just an old school kind of a guy. I don't think he's too concerned with the way he looks. He just wants to come up and smack people in the mouth.
3rd and 5, and it was picked off by number 33, Luke Arnold of Valentine, and they get the turnover back. Check that. That was Ormisher on the interception.
He has been a factor all day in this Valentine effort. Mason Ormisher just gets right in the way of the route. I don't think Melage ever saw him. I really don't, as he stepped right into the route and picks it off. Big play for Valentine right there.
I tell you what, Ormisher, for as much as he's talked about on the offensive side of the ball, he comes in with 90 tackles on the season, an interception and a fumble recovery. So he's definitely a good two-way player for these Valentine Badgers.
Timeout again.
And that'll be the 2nd timeout taken by the Bulldogs. So Auburn with its 2nd timeout here in this third quarter. 4:55 to go in the third quarter. The Bulldogs still on top 14-7, but another great opportunity after the turnover by Valentine.
Ormisher had just one interception coming into this ball game, and he makes a big one right there and gives his team a great opportunity, great field position. And now again, as we talk about huddles, we saw Jason Mitchell come out earlier and talk with his defense in a very animated way, and now he's having a great discussion with his offense and hopefully going to try to come up with some sort of plan to get themselves in the end zone.
As we set up the top, the first ever state championship appearance for both of these teams. Someone walks away from here with their first state title in the school's history.
I tell you what, Larry, with all the great players that you were mentioned earlier, the Kelsey boys, we all know those guys, Eric Moody, that came out in 2000. How has this team never made it to the state finals?
And the toss in the middle from Coleman, and Coleman finds a wide open for the touchdown. That's McCormick scoring for Valentine.
Taylor McCormick, great speed. Little slant pattern up the middle, a little quick screen, and he is off to the races.
That's his second touchdown of the game. He has 4 catches now for probably over 100 yards now. He's quietly putting together a pretty good game here.
Came into the ball game with 37 receptions and 4 TDs, and there's the extra point try.
Dredge is up and good for the extra point, and we are all knotted at 14 here in the third quarter. Big play from Coleman to McCormick.
Coleman on the drop right here, and here he comes upfield as he makes his way. McCormick, he's got really good speed, and there was pretty much no doubt when he caught that play. Just a quick slant in on that little bit of a screen, and it's a touchdown. And for the second time now, Valentine makes Auburn pay on the turnover.
One play, 44 yards off of that turnover, 49 seconds, and that's a 44-yard touchdown pass from Coleman to McCormick, his second touchdown of the afternoon. He had only 5 on the year, and McCormick has come up big in the state championship final.
Likewise for Gregory Coleman, now with 2 touchdowns on the day, puts him over the 20 touchdown mark for the season. He really does throw a nice ball, Adrian.
You bet.
And let's go down to the field to John Bishop.
You know, one of the great stories of this Auburn football team is this family right here, Troy and Andre Williams, and of course Troy Jr., who is the star receiver for this Auburn football team, are not from Nebraska originally. They came from New Orleans after Hurricane Katrina. And Troy, you came here because of the kindness of the Auburn community and the church there in Auburn.
Yes, sir. The New Life Church in Auburn sponsored us, and they gave us a house and a car to drive. And the Auburn community has been tremendous to us, and it's been a home for us, and we plan on staying. It's been tremendous for Troy Jr., and we love it. We love it. We just can't. We don't have any complaints about Auburn. It was a blessing that we moved there.
Andre, you came from the 9th Ward, which was heavily destroyed during Hurricane Katrina. Do you ever anticipate going back to New Orleans?
No, God has truly tremendous blessed us to be here in Auburn, and we are glad to be here in Auburn, grateful. The community has been good, the schools have been good, the hospital, everybody there has been really supportive of our family being here, and we're just glad to be here.
Well, they're trying to get your son the ball, interception. They're playing 10 yards off. You guys have been waiting all day for a big play.
Yeah, we're gonna get the bomb before it's over. I think we're gonna give you guys one before it's over.
Now the onside kick by Valentine.
Well, welcome to Nebraska, folks.
And Valentine is on it.
Well, for the third time now, we see the onside that works finally here. This time as Valentine is going to get it. Tremendous work here. You see number 30 for Valentine. That's a Taylor McCormick, and ball bounces off, and relatively easy and free ball to recover for Valentine.
And recovered by Adam Dredge, who is the normal kicker. So it was McCormick stepping in front of Dredge on the onside kick.
So another turnover. See if Valentine can capitalize again. On the game, Valentine has thrown for 156 yards. On the season, Auburn had allowed just 98.
And they give to Ormisher. Ormisher has room to the outside. And he's out to the 45-yard line. Another nice carry by Mason Ormisher.
See it again, just zone blocking right here, and on that left side, Matthew Spain, 53, another terrific block. Tell you, Spain and Belleville today, Chad, have really played very, very well at the guard spots.
They have. They're excellent pulling guards. They like to get up to that second level, those linebackers, and they do a real good job of putting their face in somebody's pads and creating a hole for their running backs.
Give to Ormisher again, and another nice gain for Ormisher inside the 35-yard line, and that will be close to a Valentine first down.
Valentine, a lot of emotion right now, a lot of mo on their side as once again you see Belleville. We talk about him on defense, but he plays equally well, I believe, as an offensive guard.
And they're going to measure to see if he got the first down. So timeout on the field as they measure. A nice carry by Ormisher.
And as you said, Larry, this is a typical Ormisher game. You know, he doesn't necessarily break the big runs, but he adds up those 7, 8, 9-yard runs over the course of 4 quarters. By the end of the game, before you know it, he has 150 yards and a couple touchdowns.
He's at 65 yards right now, Chad, and at 65 and working on it.
And another great opportunity for this Valentine club, who's had a few turnovers here in this second half, capitalized on one to even it at 14. And we expected, with 2 unbeaten teams, both at 12-0 in the state championship game, we expected a tight battle, and it has certainly been that, with 4:32 left here in this third quarter.
Valentine is a +5 right now in minutes of possession and time of possession. And against Hastings St. Cecilia, they really they controlled the ball very, very well. They kept that Cecilia defense on the field for almost all of the first 3 quarters, and they're trying to do a little bit of that here again today.
So the measurement was just shy. That'll bring up second down and inches for the first down. In the shotgun is Coleman. Coleman picks it up off the turf, rolls to his right, looks downfield. And open was McCormick, but he couldn't pull it in. So incomplete on second and short.
Ball just a bit underthrown here. Coleman not able to really step into it, and then he had pressure coming out of the corner of his eye.
Yeah, once again, it was Quentin Keeler. That kid's all over the field. He put a lick on Coleman there.
You ever let the quarterback know you're coming when you played, Chad?
Sometimes I would, just to get in their head. I tell you what, that's the funnest part about being a linebacker, is just letting them know you're going to do it and still getting to them.
That's that screaming part we talked about earlier.
Exactly. You can't play linebacker quiet, Adrian.
No way.
Third and short, and Coleman takes it himself, and he'll have enough easily for the first down. So another first down for the Valentine Badgers. And the attendance for this morning's battle between Auburn and Valentine, 4,016. 4,016 here. Talk about a couple of C1 communities, and Valentine certainly well represented.
Pretty good, accurate count.
I don't know how they're counting, Adrian. It has to be more than 4,000 from in the booth. At least in that pregame talk when I said there might be 15 or 20 here.
Different people see different things.
So Coleman fakes the give, keeps it himself, and Coleman rumbles inside the 25 down to about the 23-yard line, close to another Valentine first down. And Valentine really beginning to pick up steam here in this second half.
You bet. They've been able to steal the momentum away from Auburn. Watch Coleman, great kick block again, although that's pretty good work. Looks like, is that Royce Johnson, number 60? Working off the block for Auburn. But good carry on first down, 8-yard carry.
So 2nd and 2 from the 23-yard line. Valentine and Auburn knotted at 14 in the state championship game. The give inside. And Ormisher battles his way up in there. He'll be close to the first down.
Forward progress is going to give him the first down, or give Valentine the first down, I believe. Maybe just by a nose.
Yeah, this will be an interesting spot here, Adrian.
Yeah, it's either good by a nose or short by a nose.
You saw Ormisher jump there and point the first down. I like the excitement there, buddy, but you got to be a little bit careful there. You definitely don't want to get a personal foul here heading into Auburn territory.
What is right at the 22, the nose of the football is just leaning over that 22-yard line.
I guess when I say that, it depends on whose nose you're using. There it is.
Well, it must have been mine. First down.
Cyrano de Bergerac's nose. Famous chef in New York.
First down and 10. 22-yard line for Valentine as they are driving, trying to take the lead. Coleman changing the play at the line. Now he gives to Ormisher. Ormisher sticks his head in there, and a gain of about 3 inside the 20.
What I'm waiting for Valentine to do is put Gass out there on one flank and put a man in the slot, run him in motion back away from Gass, opening up that lane to the inside. And we may see it here. We'll wait, but man, it just looks like that would be the play that would be open.
You mentioned Gass there, Adrian. I've been waiting for him all night. I tell you what, at 6'5", he's an imposing target out there, and I just don't know. They've got Troy Williams matched up with him.
Here's an open shot. See, now they're running motion back his way. I'd run it away from him.
3rd and 7 in the give. Ormisher again, and he's inside the 15 now. Maybe a couple of yards shy of the first down. It will bring up 3rd and short for the Badgers.
Here you see the two receivers over on the far side. That's Gass way out on the far side. McCormick in the slot there. But the play just goes a running play off left tackle. Sometimes, well, a lot of times you set it up that way to try to just distract that defense and make them kind of think you're going over that way, and you come back to the other side.
So 3rd and short for Valentine. Ormisher and Arnold in the backfield. The give to Ormisher, and he'll be stopped short of the first down. Nice play there by the linebacker once again, Quentin Keeler. So now decision time for Valentine. Do you attempt the field goal to try and take the lead or go for it inside the 15?
Well, I think as the head coach, Jason Mitchell's been awful aggressive today. I think, your team's looking to you for leadership here, and they want you to be aggressive and try and go ahead 21-14. They don't want to settle for a field goal here, not after they've driven the ball all the way down the field here.
They are going to kick as we see Adam Dredge on the field. He is 5 for 9, Larry, on the year.
Unless we're a fake here.
Yeah, unless we're looking fake.
He has a long of 39. This from 31 yards out. It's tipped and blocked. Auburn gets through and blocks the kick. And the score remains tied at 14.
Well, a golden opportunity to add to the lead and take the lead, or add to the score and take the lead. But we'll see the attempt right here. Snap a little bit to the right. What was that?
It wasn't tipped at all. It sure looked like it was when he took off.
Yeah.
And let's take a look at our trivia question. We ask you, who was this member of the Nebraska State High School Hall of Fame, All-State in football and basketball from Lexington, was a member of that 57 state championship team, played at Nebraska, was an assistant under Bob Devaney, and currently coaches in the NFL and won the 2002 Super Bowl. And who is it? Well, it's Monty Kiffin, of course. And the winner was Kelly Feynman of Bellevue. So congratulations to Kelly Feynman of Bellevue, the winner of our football show. Or was it Feynman?
Well, I wonder if, John Feynman was a quarterback at Nebraska back during that era, and I wonder if Kelly's related somehow. I have an idea. Maybe Kelly and John have some relationship there, but
it's spelled F-A-I-M-A-N.
Well, we call him John Feynman. So
we had some Feynmans yesterday.
It's the potato discussion.
That's right. So Auburn will take over after the missed field goal at their own 20-yard line, all tied at 14. 50 seconds left here in this third quarter of play, and to give to the big bulldozer of a fullback running back, Lundy, and Lundy is out near the 30.
Well, that time the Valentine defensive line really widened the gaps and created a lot of running room just to the way they lined up. They create the room that way and then put the pressure on the linebackers to fill that gap. And of course, what happened was you get a 9+ yard carry by Lundy on the play. So if you're going to have that wide a gap, you better be able to close them down, and they just didn't get it done that time.
Inside 15 seconds now to play in this third quarter. Williams is out wide right, and they'll give it to Lundy once again. And Lundy has the yardage for a first down just past the 30.
Luke Arnold on the tackle that time, number 34. He's one of those linebackers we were talking about in terms of filling the gap, and he did that time and filled it well. But again, the first down is obtained.
So that's a first down, and the clock will tick down, and time is out here in this third quarter. So we head to the fourth quarter of play in the C1 state championship game, and it is all knotted at 14 apiece. We look forward to a great fourth quarter coming up. Hope you'll join us.
Some people tell me it's just a game, but it's more than that, at least to me. It's years of playing catch with my dad and friends in the backyard. It's a drawer full of jerseys, and a lifetime of loving the game.
The Nebraska Public Power District congratulates every player and coach who plays the game safely, with spirit, integrity, and pride.
Nebraska Public Power District, always there when you need us.
Together with your local public power utility.
And welcome back to Memorial Stadium, along with Adrian Fiala and Chad Sears. I'm Larry Putney. Great to have you here for this Class C1 state championship game. Into the fourth quarter we go, all knotted at 14. We thought it'd be a good one, and it certainly turned out to be.
It really has, Larry, and I'll tell you what, I'm expecting one of two things to happen here. Either Ryan Gass, Chad, or Troy Williams, one of these guys is going to make a big play for a touchdown pass. We'll see how it goes in the fourth quarter here, but this is a great football game and a hard-hitting football game.
I'd have to agree with you, Adrian. You look for Troy Williams or Ryan Gass to make a big play, stretch the field, but at the same time, look for Lundy and Ormesher to try and run this clock out, keep their team with the ball in their hands, and maybe get a late touchdown.
So Auburn has it to start this fourth quarter, and that's Lundy once again, and Lundy out past the 35.
Lundy's closing in on that 100-yard mark and has got a touchdown on the day. It'll be interesting to see, as I just said, how many times they continue to pound the ball up the middle with Valentine stacking the box with 8 or 9 players, Adrian.
You bet. Both of these teams doing that, too, because they're very mindful also, Auburn, about Mason Ormesher and his ability to run. We've seen great work there.
Tripped up right at the line of scrimmage for a gain of nothing. No gain at all.
Once again, James Belleville getting his nose in the action.
Might say Belleville is ringing a few bells today, the way he's playing football offensively and defensively.
So 3rd down and 3. Lundy in the backfield along with Jason Teaton. And the give to Lundy. Lundy puts his head down and out near the 43, and that'll be enough for a first down. Nice carry by Lundy to get the first.
Well, they had the concept to double team Belleville on the play. They did that. He fought through the block, but it was too late. First down already picked up. Watch it, 52 coming on the left side there. 2 guys are going to block him right there. And he runs by the play. Lundy picks up the first down.
Needed the 42, got out to about the 43, so it was the second effort that got that first down for Lundy. Give again to Lundy. More room up the middle. Nice spin move and picked up about 5 on the play.
Nothing bothers you more than a double team, Chad, in terms of the block. It makes you pretty angry as a backer out there. We saw it again on Belleville.
I tell you what, it's a good strategy, though. When the guy has 12 or 13 tackles on the game, he's really the only guy running around making tackles against Lundy. You got to do something to try and slow him down as you try and milk this clock here in the fourth quarter.
Mellage trying to lead the Auburn Bulldogs down the field to take the lead. It's all even at 14. Mellage under center. And we have a flag on the play. Looked like maybe the clock expired. See if we have a delay of game here. And we do. Delay of game called on Auburn, so that will back them up 5 yards and bring up 2nd down 11.
Auburn has rushed for 168 and mounting here in this fourth quarter. And again, as we said earlier, Valentine kind of prided themselves on shutting down opponents, running the football, just allowing 75 yards per game this year. But that's out the window. And of course, Chad told you about the 9-point situation. That's also out the window. But we have a tie game, and they have a great chance to win, as does Auburn.
2nd down 11. The give to Lundy again. Lundy out to about the 45-yard line. Stopped on the play by Belleville.
I tell you, sorry, Larry, I tell you what, coming into this game, haven't played football for a couple years, Adrian, but I tell you what, this Luke Lundy is going to be a sore fellow tomorrow morning. He's got about 20 carries right now. He's right at the century mark, and on defense, he's playing quite a bit too and sticking people. So he's going to be one sore man tomorrow morning.
He had 267 carries coming into the ball game, 20 more today, so he's almost up at that 300 mark.
3rd down for Auburn. To the air and finds Williams, and Williams makes the grab in traffic. Nope, that's not Williams. That'll be McLaughlin who makes the grab. That's the tight end, Drew Tanner. They snuck Tanner out of his tight end spot. Tanner makes the catch, and that's good enough for a first down.
Yeah, he ran it right into the triple coverage area. Just a bit of a seam there for Tanner. Tanner on the year, 11 receptions, 2 touchdowns mixed in with that, but not much room to fit a pass in there. But the quarterback, Dana Melledge, able to fit it in somehow and create the first down. Big surprise right there on that Valentine defense.
Auburn trying to chew clock, move the ball, get into scoring position here in the fourth with the tie game. Pitch goes outside, and that is good for a first down and a nice carry by McLaughlin.
Trying to get to that speed corner, McLaughlin, and great pursuit here, Chad, by the defense.
Yeah, once again, you see James Belleville making his read and getting outside, ends up tracking the guy down from behind. He's just a tremendous linebacker. Gets a little help there from his corner, number 30.
Taylor McCormick coming up to help out there. McCormick also excellent tackler and a better receiver this year, but great job on the tackle right there.
Bring up second down 2. This time the give is to Lundy, and Lundy's near that first down, the 35. He needed the 35 for the first down, and he falls right on it.
Boy, Belleville that time just simply manhandled Quentin Keeler on the play. My word, I mean, he just toyed with him and shoved him right into the ball carrier.
And they'll measure this as the ball is sitting right at the 35 of Valentine.
Chad, when you're out there on the field and you feel that other team sustaining a drive like that, tell us what goes on in a defensive guy's head, and how does the defense handle that situation?
I tell you what, Adrian, that's an excellent question, and I tell you what, nothing more do I hate as a defensive player and as a linebacker, as you know, is looking your guys in the face and seeing little thoughts of fear in there creeping in. When you've got a team that's just pounding the ball at you, and they've got a running back, like we said, in Luke Lundy, that's 6'2", 220 pounds, you know, and just getting 4 or 5 yards of carry, that's more discouraging to me than giving up a big play even. I don't know about what you think about that.
Yeah, well, and then that's when you need, you know, one of the 1 or 2 players on your defense who are leaders to step up and get in the face of the defense and say, hey, it's time to put the brakes on this thing.
About 3 links in the chain shy of a first down. Ball rests on the 35. They need the other side of the 35, and Lundy will have it easily. First down for Luke Lundy.
I tell you what, Adrian, have you seen a high school linebacker that has a quicker first step than James Belleville? No. I mean, he attacks the line of scrimmage. He does a great job of hitting guys in the backfield. He doesn't only make a lot of tackles, but he makes a lot of tackles for loss and stops at the line of scrimmage.
For a guy that's, you know, 6'1" and 210 pounds, he plays like he's about 240, but excellent quickness, good read, good instincts. Even fights through the double team from time to time to make hits. Just a tremendous football player.
Jason Mitchell, his coach, called him a once-in-a-lifetime player. That's how often you get a guy like Belleville. First down and 10, and nothing there for Lundy. Stopped by Matt Spain right at the line of scrimmage. Spain gets credit for the tackle.
Mark Oliver, the head coach of the Auburn Bulldogs, hoping his team can continue to sustain this drive.
Tell you what, James Belleville really reminds me a lot of number 38 for Nebraska a couple years ago, Barrett Rude. He's just one of those old school throwback top linebackers like we were talking about, likes to mix it up in the middle and does a great job of getting off blocks and making tackles. There he is again. This kid is impressive.
Carry by Lundy there. He broke a tackle at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, that's a great analogy, Chad. And talk about outright speed. We're going to see the replay again. Here comes Belleville. But talk about outright speed versus football speed.
You know, I was just going to say that, Adrian. You look at all these recruiting sites and where this kid's going. I haven't heard anything about James Belleville and what schools are looking at him. But I tell you what, you can run the 40-yard dash in 4.5 and be a slow football player. You can be a James Belleville who might run a 4.8. But I tell you what, between the tackles, this kid's got incredible football speed. Good job closing in and making hits.
Third down and 9 for Auburn. Back to throw is Melledge. Melledge under pressure, rolls to his left, avoids the pressure, and incomplete. Tried to find Troy Williams down there.
There's the play. Williams was way, way deep. He was running a deep post pattern. See if we can pick it up right here as bootleg action. Good work right there. And you watch Melledge now, and he's going to get outside. That's 88, Jeremy Hand, trying to make the play there. Trying to go short to the short receiver, overthrows him, but there's Williams coming on that deep crossing route we talked about it. Williams kind of threw his hands up in a little bit of desperation, saying, man, I was open, get me the football. Hopefully he'll talk with his quarterback when he gets back in the huddle about that.
You made an interesting point there on Jeremy Hand. I was talking to head coach Jason Mitchell for Valentine. He said Hand actually didn't even start halfway through the year. He just kind of took over the last 4 or 5 games, and he already has 10 sacks in the last 5 games.
Going for it on 4th and 8 and drugged down by Spain.
Huge play right there, guys. Huge.
Was that Spain or Belleville there?
Number 53, that was Matt Spain making the play. It looked like he had a lane, didn't it, Adrian?
Yeah, it did. Trying to go for that long play. Avoids the hand right there. And indeed, it is Spain, 53, junior. What a huge play that was, because he had the first down if he gets by there, guys. Tremendous work by Spain.
So we tick near the 5-minute mark, and it's still all even at 14. Carry there by Ormisher. Ormisher with the gain of about 3.
Well, they can put a drive together. Valentine can put a drive together here with 5 minutes and counting. They can control the game, I believe, from that point on, and Auburn knows that.
Ball now on the 34, and we are at 5 minutes left in the contest. They give Ormisher, and he's drugged down from behind. Nice defensive play.
Good job just to get back to the line of scrimmage that time.
Justin Lane there on the tackle for the Bulldogs. That'll bring up a 3rd down for Valentine.
Coleman over to the sideline to visit with head coach Jason Mitchell.
Watch for a pass here to Ryan Gass. They might try and switch things up here a little bit. They've been trying to ride Ormisher here the second half, but look for him to open it up here and try and put this game away.
It's like they're trying to isolate the right side over here. Gass is way on the left, looking to isolate right side.
Flag on the play. They go up top and they find for the completion for a 1st down. The pass caught by McCormick and out of bounds, but we'll see what that flag is about.
Line judge throwing the flag down here right below us. He's going to visit with the referee, Mark Waiting. Procedure.
It's a costly penalty.
Oh, man, is it? That play was relatively easy as far as the execution of the play. Troy Williams on the coverage, but again, he was very soft on the coverage on McCormick, and had the 1st down in an easy way, but it's going to go back now and create a very difficult situation.
So now 3rd and 9.
Yeah, they flipped the formation here. The same formation, just flipped it over, though.
Gass and Arnold are wide to the right. Coleman in the shotgun, and we have a timeout. And obviously, Jason Mitchell is not happy about something. A call he didn't agree with, and he took a timeout. So that's the Badgers' first timeout of this second half. They have 2 remaining. The Bulldogs with 1 remaining, as we are at the 4:11 mark of the 4th quarter, all even at 14.
Well, we're still waiting, guys, for the big jump by either Troy Williams or Ryan Gass. And we'll see here.
I tell you what, Adrian and Larry, you can only imagine what's going through these kids' minds here. You know, you've never made it to the state championship for your school, and here you are. You're in the 4th quarter, 4 minutes to go in the game, all knotted up at 14. And I tell you what an experience. This is a once-in-a-lifetime experience for these guys. And most of these kids won't have a chance to play on this field, you know, after high school. But I tell you what, to have that opportunity is something I think, you know, I would have loved to have. Never got the opportunity.
So 3rd down and 9 now. The Badgers up over the ball. And once again, to your bottom of your screen, Arnold and Gass. Gass at 6'5", the rolling left under pressure, throws it out there, and a diving attempt at a play made by McCormick, and he can't quite get there. So 4th down for Valentine.
Trying to beat the coverage out there, and that's Kyle McLaughlin that covers Gass rather well here. See, he's underneath on the receiver, although that's not Gass. I beg your pardon. McCormick.
So 4th down, and they'll kick it away. A high punt. They'll get everybody away from that, and it goes straight out of bounds. So great field position for Auburn as they will take over at their own 45-yard line with just 3:57 left. NET Sports coverage of the 2006 Nebraska High School Football Championships are brought to you in part by the Nebraska Public Power District, always there when you need us. By the Nebraska Soybean Board, encouraging the use of renewable biodiesel fuels for a healthier environment. For information, nesoybean.unl.edu. By Blue Cross Blue Shield of Nebraska, the Blues are good for you. And by the Education Quest Foundation, improving access to college through scholarships, grants, and college planning services. Well, it's getting down to that time where you certainly don't want to be the team that makes the mistake, and you want to be the team that makes the big play. And that's about what it's going to take at this point at 3:57 left in the game, all tied at 14.
Larry Valentine has picked off 2 passes and recovered 2 fumbles. They're +4 in that category. However, Auburn only +1 there. So Valentine the advantage in the turnover category. And you have the feeling now that if Valentine's going to get it done, they're going to have to make a play like that. They've picked off 2 and made it hurt both times against Auburn.
Well, Mellage out there again to lead the Auburn Bulldogs, and the give will be to Lundy, and Lundy is bounced backwards. You will not see that very often. Knocked backward, no gain for Lundy.
Luke Arnold and Belleville there to put him in a chair.
Yeah, you see Belleville firing him up. He's a very motivated individual. .330 left, 2nd down 10 for Auburn. Mellage gives to Lundy. Lundy stays on his feet, and he's grinding forward. What a great effort by Luke Lundy to get to the 45-yard line of Valentine. He'll still be a yard short of the 1st down. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 1.
Watch the yards after contact here with Lundy. Hit right there to start. And that's about, where's he going to end up? Right at the next stripe. That's 5, maybe 6 yards after that initial hit. Wow.
6'2", 220 pounds, 2,300 yards on the season. And they're trying to ride him down the field with 2:40 left for a winning score. And there's Lundy again. And he's stacked up right on the line, and he will not have it. He will be shy of the 1st down, and that will bring up 4th and 1.
Wow.
For Auburn.
You know, guys, every now and then you see Halley's Comet, and every now and then you stop Lundy on a 1-yard dive. So I would have bet money on that one for sure that Lundy picks up that 1st down, but they'll have another opportunity right here.
Troy Nelson was in there on the tackle. And I'm sure Belleville in there somewhere as well. So here it is for Auburn. 4th down and 1. 45-yard line of Valentine. The give to Lundy, and he's stacked up in the backfield.
Goodness.
He's shy of a 1st down, and Valentine will take over in terrific field position with 1:47 left in the game.
Just like a magnet to the iron, Valentine's defenders go to Lundy. Watch this, guys. This is beautiful. What do you think, Chad?
I think that obviously it's pretty obvious that Valentine knew exactly where that ball was going. And once again, it's Belleville shedding a block and making sure that ball carrier doesn't get that extra yards after contact and shutting him down on 4th down.
So 1st and 10 from the 46-yard line for Valentine. Coleman will direct the show for Valentine. He gives on the late give, and that will yield just about 2 yards. Ormisher up in there, a gain of 2, 2nd down 8.
I think both these teams might have ridden their running backs about as far as they can go. They're going to have to open it up here if they want to create a big play and score touchdowns. Both these defenses are just too salty against the run to give up a big play here, I think, as the game comes to a close.
Taylor McCormick receiving-wise today for Valentine, 4 receptions, 93 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And, of course, Gass we talked about, 7 touchdowns on the air. He's a big receiver.
Coleman drops the throw, rolls to the side of McCormick. A nice tip and knocked away at the last minute. That's a great tip by the Auburn Bulldogs.
Watch the block by Mason Armature right here, 33, right there, that preserves the play.
See if we can see.
Oh man, great defense right there.
Dove and caught that. And just tipped that away. It looked like Jason Teton on the tip.
I'll tell you what, right, Adrian, you made the point that they're really looking for McCormick here. He's had a big game, but I'm looking for him to go to Ryan Gass. But I tell you what, they've got Troy Williams matched up with him wherever he goes in the field, and I think they might be a little bit scared to go towards Williams.
And the final timeout of this second half will be taken by Valentine. So 1:10 left in the game, all knotted at 14 in the Class C1 state championship game. And Valentine facing a 3rd down and 8 from their own 48-yard line. Well, we've been asking you and encouraging you throughout the last 2 days to drop us an email and let us know what you think about our coverage of state high school football. You can contact us at sports@netnebraska.org. And Andy and Chase Stebbing of Lincoln dropped us a line. They said, we really enjoy going to the state games, but when we cannot attend, we tune to NET and catch the game. You guys always do a fantastic job. I especially appreciate it when you point out little techniques that can be learned by the young listeners. My 6-year-old watches and listens to every down. 5 stars to you guys and the great announcers. That's from Andy and Chase Stebbing of Lincoln.
Well, 6-year-old, watch this one. This is going to be fun.
3rd down and 8. All knotted at 14. Key play. Back is Coleman. Coleman wide open in the flat is the fullback Arnold, and Arnold catches it in down to the 32-yard line. Luke Arnold with the grab out of the backfield and a great delivery by Coleman.
Snuck out of there, Jed. As I always like to say, the toughest thing for a linebacker is to find that guy out of the backfield, pick him up, and then go catch him, go stay with him. That's what happens right here.
You're exactly right there, Adrian. The play-action pass is the hardest thing to defend, especially when they've given the running back 34, 35 carries a game. It's hard to, you're cheating up to the line, and the last thing you expect is a pass.
Luke Arnold on the year very quickly, 15 reception.
And now on the give up the middle, it'll be Arnold again. Arnold barrels inside the 30, a gain of about 4 yards.
You got to hustle up right here now with the clock burning down. We're in the 40-second range now. You're throwing the ball, get it to the sideline, get out of bounds, or if you're running the ball, run it to the sidelines and get out of bounds.
2nd down, 6, ball on the turf, but picked up by Coleman. Coleman saves the day there.
Valentine really needs about 5 more yards to get to the 20. Their kicker's longest field goal is 39 yards on the season, Adrian.
You bet.
And the Badgers now take their final timeout. I think earlier I had said that was his final. He had 1 left, and the Badgers take it there. So Jason Mitchell wants to talk it over with 35 seconds left. And if you're wondering what kind of range the Valentine Badgers might have, where they need to get to, Adam Dredge is their field goal kicker. He's 5 of 9 on the season for field goals. He had 1 blocked earlier in the game and has a long of 39 on the season. And from where they are right now, it would be a 39-yard field goal. Well, a little more than that. Well, be sure to join us tonight for the Class B State Championship game as Crete takes on Elkhorn. You can catch it right here on NET and NET HD, Nebraska's home for sports. Be more like a 45-yarder if they have to attempt it from here.
It'll be in the 40s, you're right, Mark.
So 3rd down here and 6, rolling to his right is Coleman. He looks downfield and flips it into the ground. That'll bring up a 4th down and decision time now for Jason Mitchell.
I tell you what, right there at the end of the play, Gass leaked free there in the deep part of the end zone. And if Coleman would have had a chance to see him, I think Gass comes up with that big play Adrian's been talking about all game.
Looking for that as Coleman was on the spread out to the right-hand side there.
Dredge is going to get his opportunity.
Here we go.
So with 28 seconds left in the game on 4th down, they bring in Adam Dredge. Dredge, a 5'10", 190-pound junior, a long of 39 on the season. Ball marked down at the 34. It'll be a 44-yard attempt. The ball is down. Dredge, the kick is up. Is it long enough? It is just off the upright. Dredge's kick just off that left upright.
Great effort by Adam Dredge. Would have been the longest field goal in his career.
And the biggest.
Oh, my. Yeah,
wow.
And the biggest. Absolutely right. He dropped down to his knees in frustration. Watch this here. Gets through there. Remember I talked about centimeters?
Oh,
my.
It would have been just long enough.
There he is. Oh, Adam, we can feel for you, my friend.
Boy, you could see the sideline reaction as well in the background as that kick fell just short. Well,
can you say OT?
Overtime certainly looms in this C1 title game. Auburn will have it now with 21 seconds left. Ball on the 20, all tied at 14.
Well, Chad, you talked about Lundy and carries today. He's at 29 for 121 yards. Ormisher, 26 for 91 yards. Both of them slammed around good, and both of them still going strong.
And Auburn looks like they will take a knee and run out the clock. So that'll be the last play of the game. All even at 14, and we are headed to overtime in the Class C1 state championship battle between Auburn and Valentine. It's knotted at 14. What a heartbreaker.
Yeah, Jason Mitchell going to gather his charges over there. A little pep talk. Make sure that it all works the way they want it to work here on defense and offense.
I tell you what, Adrian, as defensive players, we talk a lot about corners being left out on an island, and you know, if they get burned, that's a tough thing to overcome. But how would you like being Adam Dredge right now? The poor kid did an excellent job, good effort on the field goal. But I tell you what, there has to be no lonelier place on the field than being a field goal kicker who just missed a game winner.
So we head to overtime with it all knotted at 14 apiece.
Have about a 2-minute, 3-minute break actually here as they count it down, give teams a chance to sort of refresh a little bit, reload. Chad, have you ever played in an overtime game?
You know what? I played a couple in high school, and I think we won both of them. So definitely been in a few overtime games. I tell you what's an exciting thing, and it takes football to a whole nother level. You got to line up. I think in high school you line up at the 25, and each team gets a possession, and you really got to pull your guys together, look your team in the eyes, and especially if you're on the defensive side of the ball like we were, you really just got to come up with a big stop and at least give your offense a chance to score.
So you want to be on defense first is what you're saying as usual.
Definitely want to be on defense first. I think you always want to be on defense first. The only time in overtime you wouldn't want to be on defense first is in the pros, of course, because they can kick a field goal and win it and you don't even get a possession.
Well, now let's have a message from the NSAA.
Participating in high school activities brings a whole lot of life skills to it. The practice, the work ethic, the commitment, the understanding that I have to do a little bit every day to get better. And then the carryover into life. Number one, the contacts that you meet. I don't think you understand when you're in high school how many lifelong contacts you meet, people that you see every day out in Nebraska businesses and Nebraska communities of people you participated against in high school. So from a networking standpoint, it's more than the kids realize right now. From a life skills standpoint, you know, kids deal with adversity in athletics and activities. People deal with understanding what the work ethic is and just a whole lot of life skills that they can use to complement their daily studies and become a more well-rounded person for the pursuits after high school.
The NSAA, for nearly a century, enhancing education in Nebraska through high school activities.
Well, we're going to head to overtime. Let's head down to the referee, Mark Whiting.
Here's overtime. All right, we're going to have a flip. Or which end of the field we're going to go from. You have any questions on the overtime? Okay, we'll start at the 10-yard line. It's always goal to goal, always, okay? So the only first down you're going to get is if there's a penalty that gives you an automatic first down. All right, we're going to go ahead and flip here. Heads is what he calls. Is that what you hear? Okay, I'll let it fall on the ground. Okay, it is a tail.
You want to play defense first.
You want to play defense first. Okay. Which end of the field are we going to go?
You want to go into that end zone.
Okay, let's move this way.
Well, as you just heard, the Auburn's going to take the ball first because Valentine won the toss, just as Chad and Adrian were talking about. You want to take defense first. Now, this is different from college. College, you get the ball at the 25-yard line. And, of course, there is the option of getting a first down. But in high school, it's first down, goal to go from the 10. No first downs. You got 4 cracks to get a score. And then it's just like in college. The other team will get a possession as well.
As Mark Whiting explained to both teams, the only way you get a first down here is if there's a penalty. So 4 downs to score. And whoever scores the most after each team has a possession is either the winner or we have another OT.
When you take a look today at the power running game, Auburn 100, almost 200 yards, 196 in that power running game. Valentine 104. And when you have 10 yards to cover and a guy like Luke Lundy in your backfield, I think they have a bit of an advantage here in that regard.
Well, as John explained to you, Valentine won the flip. They chose to go on defense, so it'll be Auburn with the ball. And that will put Luke Lundy on the field. Lundy has rushed for 121 yards on the afternoon on 29 carries. And Auburn, 196 yards rushing. So we are in overtime, all knotted at 14. Valentine and Auburn, the pitch to Lundy. And Lundy will be dropped, keeps his feet though, and they're going to call him down. So he was down back at the 12-yard line, a loss of 2 for Lundy.
See it again here in Lundy as it's a terrific play. That looks like Luke Arnold from that linebacker spot. Again, one of the top tacklers on this football team, and he was able to get over there and cause that loss of about 7 yards. That's a great play in this situation right now, man.
Big loss of 7. That'll bring up second down, goal to go. It looked like Lundy's knee just barely brushed the ground on the replay. So now dropping back to pass is Melledge. Melledge will scramble. He's hit hard and dropped back at the 23. Back-to-back tackles for losses by Valentine.
Jeremy Hand coming from the backside of the play. Here it is, Chad.
Yeah, once again, you mentioned Jeremy Hand. I was mentioning earlier, Jeremy didn't even start for this team most of the year, but in the last 4 or 5 games, he's come up with 10 sacks, now 11 sacks, and what a hit. I tell you what, he really drove Coleman into the ground there.
Melledge a good chance to fumble there. John?
Adrian and the guys, they're still giving Williams a 7-yard cushion, but on that play, when he came across the middle, he had 3 other guys gassed in helping on Williams.
Third down and goal, 19. They throw it up there for Williams. He pulls it down. Williams with the touchdown.
What an impressive play. That kid is an athlete. I tell you what, you knew this game might come down to Gasser, him making a play, and I tell you what, Troy Williams steps up and makes a huge play for the Auburn Bulldogs.
And it's Gass and Williams on the play, and Williams making the play at 6'3" and 190, and Gass is right there. The coverage is right there, but the battle ensued, and Gass not able to come up with it. He's 6'5" on the play, and Williams takes the football away. That's just a great one-on-one individual battle. And we were waiting for a play like that to happen. Little did we realize it would involve both players. Same play.
Now the extra point. That's Trent Jones booting it through to give them a 7-point advantage. So Auburn on 3rd and forever throws it up, and what a play by Williams here.
Little fader in the end zone, and there you see it. Gass is right there, but Williams wins that battle, Chad.
Yeah, definitely, as we talked about. What a tremendous story. I bet you Williams didn't imagine himself 2 years ago catching a touchdown in Nebraska High School State Football Championship to potentially take his team to the first state title.
Let's go back down to John.
Very quickly, but between 2 different plays. On the first play, Gass had plenty of help because it was inside help. That time, they went right for Gass. Gass had nobody in there behind him to help out. It was just a beautiful pitch and catch, somewhat reminiscent of what we saw last week from Nebraska.
Valentine's turn now right up the middle, and a good gain on first down by Omisher. Omisher all the way down to the 2-yard line.
As his coach Jason Mitchell said coming into the game, this Omisher is the leader of this team and refuses to lose. What a tremendous run for a 150-pound running back to get 8 yards up the middle on first and goal. It's impressive.
Spain and Hansen up front. Matthew Spain, the left guard, and Tyler Hansen, the center, providing the clearance for the heavy equipment run. And timeout now by Auburn.
Mark Oliver going to talk it over with his defense, as Valentine will face 2nd down and goal from the 2. Already on the board is Valentine, so they're up 21-14. Auburn in the lead. Well, be with us on Saturday, November 25th for NCAA volleyball as the Nebraska Huskers host the Texas Longhorns live from the Nebraska Coliseum. That's November 25th, live at 7 Central right here on NET and NETHD, Nebraska's home for sports.
I tell you what, Adrian, I look for Jason Mitchell, the Valentine coach, to go to his bread and butter here with a toss sweep off of one of the sides. Auburn's going to be playing their linebackers up tight and the safeties up tight, and I just think that you have an advantage there of trying to get your guy out on the edge.
2nd down 2 from the 2. The give to Ormisher right up the middle, and he's in there for the touchdown. Ormisher with the touchdown, extra point on its way.
Well, when you have power running games like each of these teams have, not surprised to see that sort of a turn of events right there. Just 2 downs into the zone, and the Valentine ties the football game back up. So we'll start it all over again here in a second.
How nerve-wracking can this be? You need the extra point, and it's through there for the extra point by Dredge. He evens it at 21. Now we go to the 2nd overtime.
Well, he just misses that field goal by a centimeter, and see again the blocking up front between Spain and Hansen, and also led up inside there by Luke Arnold, and tough to do it. John?
You know, Adrian, that's the difference. I mean, in high school football especially, there's not a lot of great kickers out there, so it's going to come down to which kicker is most accurate. Now, at some point, you may see a team end up going for 2, but generally in high school overtimes, the pressure is on the kicker because, as you just saw, PATs are so very, very important. If you can't get them, then you might end up losing the game.
You bet. And Trent Jones is a kicker for Auburn. He's 3 for 3 in field goals. He does have a long of 42 as we'll go to midfield again here, flip the coin, and start all over. Who's got the most gas? Who do you think?
I'll tell you what. Made 2 predictions already, and they've both been wrong, so I'm going to stay away from that, Aid.
Well, you should be a weatherman.
That's right.
Hey, I was the one calling for the toss sweep on the last play. Ormisher took it right up the middle. So
I tell you, when you talk about plays, all of us just use our best, our best guess in a lot of situations. Chad, as you know, if you handle the ball a lot on a play, a chance to drop it, fumble it, do whatever, and a toss sweep kind of gives you that. When you have a guy like Mason Ormisher who just continues to excel, they have him for 27 carries and 93 yards. I'm not sure if that's been updated or not, but I think he's over 100. But anyway, aside from that, he's just a solid money ball player, just like Luke Lundy, and we'll see them again here in this turn of events as we're about ready to go back to 2nd overtime here.
What a terrific Class C1 state championship game. Both teams come in undefeated, 12-0. They're both in the top 5 in the nation. They had their struggles on the way here, battling some tough games to get to the state championship, and now into 2 overtimes, all knotted at 21.
it doesn't get any better than this. Like I said earlier, I mean, this is a dream for these kids on this field. I mean, can it get any better?
For one of them, it will. So 1st and 10, Valentine will have it to start this 2nd overtime.
You're right, Larry. One will win, one will lose. But I don't like to refer to either team as a loser because they're not. They're not. Both terrific football teams, Valentine undefeated and Auburn undefeated coming in.
McCormick wide right. Ormisher in the backfield. And the give will be to Ormisher, who has room. Ormisher down inside the 2 and another gain of 8 on 1st down for Valentine.
This time, instead of tracking up inside, Chad, they fool up everybody and go outside.
Yeah, and I tell you what, it's kind of surprising. Valentine came into this overtime with just around 100 yards rushing on 47 carries, and now Auburn's defense is kind of giving up a kind of playing soft here and not stepping up and making the big hit. Somebody on that defense has got to get in each other's face and get somebody to step up and make a play on Ormisher.
Well, they've had good luck between Spain and Hansen on the left side, the guard and the tackle. See if they do it again.
2nd down 2, Arnold and Ormisher in the backfield. They give to Ormisher again right up the middle, and again on the second play, he's in there for the touchdown.
Just where they went right between Matthew Spain, the junior left guard, and Tyler Hansen, the senior center.
You know, and Ormisher had been pretty much shut down for the majority of the game, averaging about 3 yards a carry. And now he's already got 2 touchdowns here in overtime. And I tell you what, he's really put together a nice overtime here.
And we may have a little freezing going on here as Auburn decides to take their timeout here. Mark Oliver. And put a little pressure on Adam Dredge. He'll pull his defense in. Well, if you'd like a DVD of this game, and I'm sure there'll be a lot of them sold, or any of the state high school football or volleyball championships, log on to netnebraska.org. Click on Shop NET, or you can call 1-800-868-1868. It's a memory that will last for years to come. NET is Nebraska's home for sports. There may be a team leaving here today that just decides to buy a case of them.
Adam Dredge is the man of the hour right now as he prepares to kick the extra point. Again, an all-important extra point on the play, as John talked about, or John Bishop, our sideline reporter, talked about.
Dredge's kick is up, and it is no good. Off the upright.
Same upright that he hit on that long field goal, that 41-yard field goal, and he is not happy. He's just fling that tee over there into the sideline.
I was surprised nobody got a hand on it because there was remarkable penetration. And here it is.
Wow.
And bounces back instead of through. If that clips it and bounces right, it's in. So Auburn now with the chance. A touchdown and an extra point would give Auburn its first ever state championship. Valentine needs to keep them out of the end zone to win its first title. Again in the backfield to Lundy, and Lundy will be piled up at about the 11-yard line. He'll lose again. They have run now 4 plays in the overtime period. 3 of them have been for a loss. The only positive yardage play they had was the pass to Williams, which scored the touchdown.
And Lundy, again, the recipient of each of those losses. Larry, and you wonder, Jed, as you said, is it fatigue now? Is it getting to be a bit tough to get going?
Well, I don't know if it's Auburn that's struggling or Valentine that's just playing well. James Belleville is just being a big rah-rah guy right now, getting in his guy's face and getting them, trying to get them to make a big stop here.
And there's a timeout on the field. It was a timeout called by Valentine coach Jason Mitchell, although he was waving it off and trying to tell the official, I didn't want timeout. They gave it to him, so he has a timeout now. 2nd down, 11. Ball is on the 11. Need the goal line to tie it up and an extra point to win a state championship. Well, Auburn came into this game ranked number 4 at 12-0, Valentine at number 3. Both undefeated and both looking for their first ever state championship. And you can hope you get this kind of game, but it so often doesn't live up to the billing, and this one certainly has.
So what do you think, Adrian, here? Do you think Lundy and Belleville are going to decide this outcome, or are they going to look to Troy Williams?
Well, you almost got to look at it that way. Here comes the attempted pass, so.
He goes up top to the back of the end zone. Pass incomplete. That'll bring up 3rd down.
It's a great decision by Mellage to throw that ball away. Nobody was open, and great senior leadership there. Great decision.
Yeah, as we talked earlier about, Chad, you don't want to take a sack here, and you don't want to fumble it or give it up, and he pays the price right there. Got a forearm right to the chest, and
once again, Jeremy Hand getting in there and putting his face mask under Mellage's helmet.
See where they put Troy Williams on the formation here. He's going to split down wide right. Looking to try to ISO. Oh, that's open now. See that backer's shaded way up inside. Now he's going to get help.
Rolling to his right is Mellage. He'll look the other way and in the end zone for the touchdown. What a grab there by Drew Tanner with the touchdown catch just inside the pylon, and an extra point away from a state championship for Auburn.
Great catch and a better throw. My, that throw was, you had to put it right where it was to make it work. Anywhere else it doesn't work, and Melled's able to do that.
And now we have a timeout on the field. Let's take another look at the catch. Drew Tanner gets it and just in the end zone.
Coverage way late coming over. And here's what I'm talking about. I mean, it's just, Chad, that just pinpoint accuracy by Mellage on the throw.
I tell you what about Drew Tanner, only his 3rd touchdown of the season. I tell you, talk about stepping up and making a big play.
Well, Trent Jones became the field goal kicker just a few games ago. He's 3 for 3 on field goals this season. This will win a state championship for Auburn. The extra point by Tanner is down. It's up, and it is good! Auburn wins a state championship.
It was their goal to win the state championship. They're 13 seniors, and everybody on this football team had that goal in mind when they started this season. Their coach, so confident, he talked about the latitude and the longitude of 40-96 season, and there it is, Larry and Chad. They achieve the ultimate. They win the C1 championship.
I tell you what, isn't it ironic about this crazy game we all love? You bang heads for 120 snaps, and it comes down to a kicker making an extra point to decide a state championship. I tell you what, as a linebacker, that's frustrating, and I bet James Belleville is just disgusted at this point.
Adam Dredge, bless his heart, just a centimeter or two away of that field goal, just bouncing off the pole. And you never know. It goes one way, goes the other. Goes one way, you're a hero. Goes the other way, and you forever frustrated about it.
2 different field goals within probably 4 inches of winning, or at least tying, a state championship.
Yeah.
Certainly the one at the end of the game for the field goal.
What a great game.
Certainly was. So the final in Class C1. The Bulldogs win a state title 28-27. We'll be back in Lincoln.
Programming on NET television is provided in part by Education Quest Foundation. For over 20 years, Education Quest has provided free college planning resources to help students search colleges, search for scholarships, complete financial aid applications, and learn more about student loans. Education Quest is located in Kearney, Lincoln, and Omaha. Appointments available at 800-666-3721.
This program is brought to you by the Nebraska Soybean Checkoff. Soy biodiesel is a soy-based, clean-burning, renewable fuel that can be blended with petroleum diesel to reduce America's dependence on foreign oil. Soy biodiesel, making a difference for Nebraska's soybean farmers and you.
The headaches were changing my daily routine.
Migraines caused Karen to see a neurologist who recommended a prescription.
I didn't want the drugs, and that's when she said to start walking. And so I started walking, and I haven't had a headache since. I'm a lot healthier than I was, and I can accomplish a lot more because I feel better. I just let Blue Cross Blue Shield know that I was living proof that walking does work.
Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska.
The blues are good for you.
Hi, I'm Kevin Kugler alongside my partner Adrian Fiala, inviting you to join us for our next edition of NET's Big Red Wrap-Up.
Kevin will recap the Nebraska-Colorado game, but our guest will be sports writer Lee Bartek from the Omaha World-Herald, plus all the latest recruiting news with rival Sean Callahan.
And be sure to vote in our sideline survey. What's the greatest Husker comeback of all time? Check us out at netnebraska.org. Join us Tuesday, November 28th, after the CU game for the next Big Red Wrap-Up, right here on NET, Nebraska's home for sports.
NET Sports coverage of the 2006 Nebraska State High School Football Championships are brought to you in part by the Nebraska Public Power District, always there when you need us. By the Nebraska Soybean Board, encouraging the use of renewable biodiesel fuels for a healthier environment. For information, nesoybean.unl.edu. By Blue Cross Blue Shield of Nebraska, the Blues are good for you. And by the Education Quest Foundation, improving access to college through scholarships, grants, and college planning services. Well, it was a double overtime thrill, and Auburn comes out on top. The final 28-27, an extra point the difference in 2 overtimes. Valentine now time to get their runner-up medals. Let's go to the public address announcer, Rich Broderson.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Nebraska School Activities Association is honored to have medals and trophies for both of these outstanding teams. The award presentations will be made by NSAA Board of Control members Dr. Brian Maher of Centennial, Dr. Bob Resnicek from Omaha West Side, and U.S. Bank Representative Jeff McEwen. Here are the awards for Class C1 runner-up Valentine High School. Will head coach Jason Mitchell and your assistants please come to the sideline stage to present the silver medals to the members of your team. Players, as your name is called, please come forward to receive your medal. Number 1, Alex Arnold. Number 2, Marshall Simmons. Number 3, Garrett Leonard. Number 5, Zane Parkhurst. Number 7, Kevin Peterson. Number 10, Bryant Santos Delgado. Number 12, Matthew Coleman. Number 13, Nate Dotson. Number 14, Greg Coleman. Number 15, Tyler Osnes. Number 20, Scott Murphy. Number 22, Eric Bopp. Number 25, James Batchelor. Number 30, Taylor McCormick. Number 32, J.T. Jones. Number 33, Mason Ormisher. Number 34, Luke Arnold. Number 44, Burke Burge. Number 45, Keithan Mercure. Number 52, James Belville. Number 53, Matt Spain. Number 54, Mark Colburn. Number 55, Jordan Garvin. Number 57, Tyler Hansen. Number 58, Jeff Rage. Number 59, Toby Furno. Number 61, Adam Dredge. Number 63, Jacob McCrary. Number 64, Troy Nelson. Number 65, Tyler Schmitz. Number 66, Kyle Ascarson. Number 67, Derek Furno. Number 68, Landon Whitby. Number 70, Dustin Hawthorne. Number 71, Christopher Whitby. Number 72, Jace Lemon. Number 75, Robbie Lauer. Number 76, Ryan Butler. Number 78, Seth Osnes. Number 79, Nicholas Steck. Number 80, Ryan Guess. Number 81, Luke Lapsley. Number 86, Matthew Batchelor. Number 87, Ethan Larson. Number 88, Jeremy Hand. Number 90, Ocean Leahului. And number 99, Robert Cox. And now here is the 2006 Class C1 runner-up trophy. Congratulations, Valentine High School.
And congratulations indeed. Those are some of the more longer faces we have seen, even for the losing team side of the bench. And I know how difficult it can be, especially when you're so close to it and it comes down to a tight game like that. And they don't realize it now, Ed, but what a terrific season. 12-0 or 12-1, they finished the year second in the state.
Absolutely, Larry. It'll take a while for it all to kind of sink in and for the loss to pass. And then when they finally realize what they did this year, what they accomplished, they'll be proud of their year. I mean, there are a lot of teams in C1 that wish they were here right now, but they're not. But eventually, Jad, a couple of weeks, maybe a month or so, it'll all sink in, and they'll be happy with what happened there this year.
I'll tell you what, you never get comfortable losing, at least you hope not, and it's a tough situation anytime it happens. I actually had the same feeling Valentine had my senior year going against this same squad, Auburn, at home. We were rated 5th or 6th in the state. They were 4th in Class B at that time. We took them to the wire, and they ended up scoring a late touchdown and winning the game 13-6, and I tell you what, it really was a tough one to get over.
So Valentine finishes number 2 in the state, and for the state champions, let's go back to the public address announcer, Rich Broderson.
Now to the champions from Auburn High School. First, head coach Mark Oliver. We have a special award for you. Now, coach, would you and your assistants hand out the gold medals to the members of your championship team? Players, as your name is called, please come forward to receive your medal. Number 1, Troy Williams. Number 2, Tommy Parrish. Number 5, Blake Bands. Number 8, Dana Mellage. Number 9, Ryan Mertis. Number 10, Philip Byfield. Number 12, Garrett Collin. Number 14, Nathan Teaton. Number 15, Wesley Reet. Number 19, Grant Cole. Number 26, Joshua Jones. Number 27, Seth McAtee. Number 28, Jake Day. Number 30, Jason Teaton. Number 33, Trent Jones. Number 38, Kyle McLaughlin. Number 40, Luke Lundy. Number 42, BJ Wheeler. Number 43, Alex Chubbuck. Number 44, Justin Lane. Number 50, Seth Kubik. Number 54, Ryan Kahunza. Number 55, Garrett McMahon. Number 57, Josie Whistler. Number 58, Kiefer Coatney. Number 59, Brent Sherman. Number 60, Royce Johnson. Number 62, Chris Bowden. Number 63, Justin Kahunza. Number 65, Travis Cole.
Here you go, T4.
Number 66, Quentin Keeler. Number 71, Joel Wilson. Number 72, Zach Palmerton. Number 73, Josh Garver. Number 75, Caleb Carnahan. Number 78, Bryce Perry. Number 79, Scott McAlexander. Number 80, Ryan Allgood. Number 82, Joshua Rezab. Number 83, Theodore Fisher. Number 88, Spencer Mason. Number 92, Nick Mann. And number 96, Drew Tanner. And now, for these outstanding athletes and their school, here is the 2006 Class C1 State Football Championship Trophy. Congratulations, Auburn High School.
Yep, congratulations indeed. The Bulldogs, state champions in Class C1. They finished the year 13-0, and they win one of the most exciting state championship games we've had in recent years. You can always think back to the Class B championship a couple years ago, but this, going down to overtime and decided on kicks, what a terrific finish.
Absolutely, Larry. I wonder if they'll take the trophy and have 4096 inscribed in the trophy.
Right.
What do you think?
Absolutely. Why not? That's where Memorial
Chad,
Stadium is, right?
You do that?
I definitely do. That's been their motto all season, and be a fun way to end it.
40 north, 96 west are the coordinates of Memorial Stadium, and head coach Mark Oliver had that inscribed and everything way a long time ago, right after last season, to achieve their goal to win the state title.
Well, let's head down to John Bishop with the state champs.
Association.
Well, Coach, first off, a hard-fought victory this afternoon. What a game.
It was a great game. It was everything we thought it would be. We jumped out early on them, but then we kind of shot ourselves in the foot a little bit, gave them a couple turnovers, but that Valentine team never quit. They're a great class program, and they did a super job. But these guys that we have, they never quit either, and they just dug down deep and never quit, even down there when things were looking pretty dark for us. We came up with big plays just like they've done all season, and I didn't expect anything less out of these guys. And I can tell you, there was a story I can tell you. Our starting linebacker, Quentin Keeler, broke his arm in a game, and he went up to my son. He says, "Hey, you're going to be a freshman. We're going to be playing for a state championship." He told him that, even though he'd been hurt that season. So this has been this guy's goals for their whole high school career. And I'm so glad they had the opportunity to play here, and I'm so glad they won the championship.
Drew, let's talk about the last play, the touchdown.
I don't know. We've been going to Lundy and McLaughlin and Troy all year, and it was just, I thought it was something I needed to do just to score a touchdown for everybody.
And Luke, they were really keying on you in the overtime. It was a tough 2 extra periods for you.
Oh yeah, it was. But it's tough the whole game. So thank God we got other people to give the ball to.
You were telling me during the medal presentation this was the toughest team you faced.
Yeah, this is the toughest team we played. I think so, personally. Best defense I played against, too.
Guys, first off, let's do it right. We need to flip positions here. How ironic is this? Star of the offense, game-winning touchdown, 40-96. Congratulations, guys.
Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.
That is
Nice
amazing.
job.
That Mark Oliver is a genius.
John, great job. That's outstanding. 40-96 just carries through the entire season. Once again, 40-96 are the coordinates at which Memorial Stadium lies. And at the beginning of the year, Auburn said, of course, Coach is a geography teacher, so he teaches kids geography, and Coach Mark Oliver said, 40-96, put it on everything. And people say, well, 40-96, those are the two players? And they're like, no, 40-96 means much more than that. It's about getting to Memorial Stadium at the end of the year. And
absolutely amazing.
Wow,
I'll tell you what, I'm looking forward to next year. What's he come up with? It's hard to live up to that.
That's exactly right. Well, if you'd like a DVD of this game or any of the state high school football or volleyball championships, you can log on to netnebraska.org. Click on the Shop NET, and or you can call 1-800-868-1868. And this is certainly a game that the fans in Auburn will keep and treasure forever. Well, don't forget the last state championship game of the weekend comes up tonight at 7 o'clock right here on NET1 and NETHD. It's the Crete Cardinals taking on a very tough Elkhorn Antlers squad for the Class B state championship. That should be another terrific contest.
Tremendous game. Looking forward to that. We've seen a lot of great football the last couple of days, and hopefully tonight's game will be just as good. And after I get done here, I'm going to get Mark Oliver, and we're going down and buy a lottery ticket. So, Chad, how about you?
Oh, I'm definitely looking forward to tonight's game. Mark Wortman is actually the winningest coach percentage-wise in 11-man football, so we're going to look to see if he can get his first state title since 1999.
It should be a good one, but for here and now, it was a Class C1 state championship for Auburn in double overtime. 28-27 the final. For John Bishop, Adrian Fiala, Chad Severs, and the entire NET Sports production crew, I'm Larry Putney. Thanks very much for joining us. We'll see you tonight from Memorial Stadium.